Why does it keep doing that? Like within like the first 30 minutes, it crashes. I met somebody too. She's a model out in LA. She's begging me to move. She says Malibu is pretty great. Met someone and then she's okay. Yeah. I sleep like a baby.
You know, I didn't really know that, like, how to repair things or what order to do VATS in or when to even use VATS. I was kind of just playing this like Skyrim, and this does not play like Skyrim whatsoever. To me, as an outsider, again, I was always like, oh, Fallout is just Skyrim, but with, you know, the whole post-apocalyptic thing. Obviously, also, I know that Fallout 3 came way before Skyrim. Chill the fuck out. Anyways, I was struggling pretty hard with this game, so much so that I maybe have used a couple console commands to generate a couple stim packs in the first 4 hours of my game.
Skill issue.
But at that 3 or 4 hour mark, I don't know what happened or what changed, but it just clicked, and I was fucking hooked. The leveling up, the barter, speech, lockpicking, side quests. It all came together so clearly and created the best RPG experience I think I've ever had. You have unforgettable creatures like the ghouls, the Yaogwai, and the holy fuck shit your pants, the centaur. What the fuck is this thing? I have pretty thick skin when it comes to kind of like yucky shit, but holy fuck, this thing is so cursed and like the most uncomfortable thing I think I've ever looked at in a video game. Also, here's my first experience with the Deathclaw. Wait, is that a Deathclaw?
Uh-oh. Wait.
Oh no. It is. Oh! You get an idea of what the ambience of Fallout is known for with the legendary soundtracks. It weirdly meshes that 40s and 50s music playing as the most desolate things are occurring before your very eyes. It's a widely debated what game has the best soundtrack, but I think they're all just fire. And that's all I'm going to talk about soundtracks. I know you could go in depth in every game, but you know, you get a good idea with Fallout 3, and you could argue it only gets better as it goes on, as far as soundtracks go. With the newfound confidence and enjoyment I had found, I ended up quickly beating the main story, which was pretty short and sweet, which seems to be a reoccurring thing with Bethesda games as far as the main quest goes. But then I started to dive deeper into what this game had to offer, and I was just mind blown. Tenpenny Towers, Paradise Falls, the Underground Metro, the motherfucking super duper mart. But where this game really knocked my socks off with how much fun you can have with it is its DLC. And I gotta say, this was by far my favorite stretch of this whole entire video, was playing each Fallout 3 DLC. I don't know if there's necessarily a right or wrong order to play these in, but I'll just run through the order that I played them in. I think the first one I attempted to do was Point Lookout, but quickly realized I was not good enough for that at the level I tried to do it at. We'll go ahead and talk about it anyway, since I did do like a decent amount of the, or you know, at least like maybe half of it before I just completely got soft locked, or not, maybe not soft locked, but just could not progress because I was not good enough. It takes a Halloween haunted house, like Friday the 13th approach that works very well and introduces all sorts of new characters and enemies, like the inbred swamp folk that feel like they're ripped straight from Texas Chainsaw. I also found this is one of the more compelling stories. You know, it kind of gets, at first you think, oh, like there's like these two factions against each other, like, and then it gets way deeper than that, and kind of like you get a cool little history lesson of Point Lookout and what it's been like even before. And it kind of has this pretty wild twist that is actually pretty clever. And I think this is what a lot of people have in mind when they think of single player DLC. Take you to a new location and make that location like pretty in-depth, you know, don't have much blank space, just make it a whole jam-packed experience. Maybe add a new aesthetic to it. This was, you know, the whole carnival theme vibe going on here. And throw in a couple new guns and characters and you're good to go. And this is what Point Lookout is. It's a solid DLC. My only complaint is that I went here at a low level and it costs 400 to go to and from there, 400 caps. And since I got there, I realized I couldn't progress it anymore because I sucked. So I had to spend 400 caps to go back. So, which at the time I was playing was, it kind of seemed like a lot more caps than what it felt like. But then there's Operation Anchorage, which is a really simple DLC that puts you in a simulation of the war that led up to the bombs being dropped. This was one I wish, unlike Point Lookout, I did at a very early point in the game because you get some pretty kick-ass armor and then just a ton of guns. It's just a really solid A to B linear DLC, kind of a, it feels just like a placeholder, just like you rank up your XP, and the gameplay is just basically like Call of Duty 2. Like if you're playing like an old Call of Duty campaign mission, that's Operation Anchorage. And again, as an outsider, I f***ed at that. Some people hate that, but it was enjoyable for me. Then there's Broken Steel, which without having this DLC, I believe the game ends when you beat it. But with this installed, there's an entire post-game alongside the Brotherhood of Steel, and that was actually my least favorite of the 5. Not to say it's a bad thing. You know, we're talking about some really heavy hitters here, and this one just kind of felt like more of the main story. I think this one also did raise the level cap to 30, which is very relevant because I kind of, you know, you hit level 30 naturally playing this game, but getting stopped at 20 would have really sucked. Then there's Mothership Zeta, which for whatever reason, everybody fucking hates this. I guess maybe it's distasteful for the whole Fallout thing getting aliens involved and them abducting you, and it is kind of corny. You're just walking out and then you just get sucked up. But I thought it was pretty fun. You know, you're just trying to escape the ship, and then the part where you meet the other people who got kidnapped but are also Cairo freeze, you know, in time, including one person who you fought alongside during Operation Anchorage. That's pretty sick. It is another very linear experience. You're just running around the ship trying to escape, and you get some pretty fucking broken guns, but I think as far as I know, the ammo's limited. It's only what you get on the ship, so I think that's a good way to balance it, but they are pretty fun and also very ridiculous. Then there's the Pit, which like Point Lookout takes you to an entirely new and separate place on the map, being Pittsburgh. This is another fan favorite, and I can totally see why. You're caught in this whole slave and dictatorship.
DC and parts of Maryland. Okay.
Each DLC introduces a ton of exclusive loot, and this one, if you however much of a collector you want to be, you can just collect all these steel ingots and get some crazy shit every like 5 or something. You also get the ammo crafting thing, which was also pretty nice. There's no other way to craft ammo except for in the pit. Anyways, enough about the DLC. Let's get back to the base game, which takes the very depressing and dark and gloomy vibe to it, which obviously fits the post-apocalypse thing. It first made the game hard to enjoy because it was actually hard to physically see things, but you realize that this game really sold you on the bleak and depressing lifestyle that you're surrounded by. I went for a small guns, energy guns, and melee build, which is probably the most basic if I had to guess. I mean, at least to me, it just seemed like the most natural one, you know, as far as the things I was picking up early on. I was like, all right, I'm just going to try and max these things out. But what I liked about leveling up in this game is you really don't feel like you're tied down to a specific build. You get to such a high level that basically everything you do is really good, and the perks, like in leveling up system, is so good in this. I loved it so much. And by the end of the game, you are just completely unstoppable. As far as other complaints I have, I guess you could maybe complain about the mini-map markers. I know if you have 2 objectives at the same time, they'll show you both of them, but you don't know which is one. Like maybe you have a decision to make and it's like talk to this person or talk to this person. It just has 2 markers and you don't know which marker belongs to which person. Just a nitpick, and I'm sure there's mods that fix that. And I guess if you're a full-fledged fucking idiot like me, the beginning of the game is kind of not very user-friendly or beginner-friendly. You kind of have to just suffer through it for like an hour or 2 before you start making things make sense. And then the performance, holy shit, the performance of this game fucking blows. At least on my computer, you know, it's the tale as old as time, where the older the PC game and the newer the actual system it's running on, the worse that they communicate with each other. And I had so many issues. It crashed all the time, and if I ever clicked out of my game from full screen mode, it would just guaranteed crash. So that was pretty annoying, but you kind of just learn to deal with it. And once again, I feel like there's mods to fix that. But other than that, I'll go as far to say that this game is perfect. This is the S tier for the video.
Ooh.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Success?
Not to bore you with the details on the development behind New Vegas, but a quick history lesson or reminder, because probably all of you already know this. Former members of Interplay, the folks behind Fallout 1, went on to start Obsidian. Bethesda wanted to make a sequel to Fallout 3, but offhanded the project to Obsidian, which is made up of original Interplay devs, to in turn make another Fallout game made by the people who made Fallout. Anyways, as the title suggests, we're taking to Las Vegas, which was somewhat untouched in the grand scheme of things compared to the majority of the country. And instead of being a vault dweller, you're the courier who took a job gone wrong as you hunt down Benny, the man responsible for your attempted assassination. A couple of key differences in the start of the game compared to Fallout 3, one of which being the traits. The way to describe these is kind of like perma perks that drastically change, you know, minor things about the game, and you know, you can't have one, and if you have one, you won't be able to take another. It's a really cool feature. I read over Logan's loophole trait that starts and keeps you at level 30 for the entire game, and in and of itself sounds like a very interesting way to play the game. Another obvious observation is that you're not playing from a vault dweller, you're starting the game from the top, and as far as you know, the courier's always been on the top, which is a new unique perspective that we didn't have in Fallout 3. The game itself is much brighter in comparison to Fallout 3, but still holds on to that bleak, empty, and depressing wasteland land, which is further emphasized by this game taking place on a literal desert. Anyways, unlike Fallout 3, this game also cuts you loose like 5 minutes after the first cutscene. And as far as I'm concerned, kind of like the first two games, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Whereas Fallout 3, there was probably like at least 30 to 45 minutes of guaranteed main story you had to complete. I'm not sure if it was my idiot, dumb brain maturing overnight or me actually having a grasp on what the fuck was going on this time around, but I grinded the living shit out of the side quests of this game. Basically, completed most of the side quests before I got even like halfway through the main quest, which granted is still pretty short in this game too. One of the most memorable early ones I had done was Come Fly With Me, where you discover a group of ghouls that are afraid of the basement being this nightkin, and then you clear out the nightkin, and then they task you to find these parts for these rockets and then fly to the fucking moon. This was like an hour into the game, and I was just like, oh shit, this is already just off to a banger start. When you send a group of like cultist ghouls to the moon in the first hour of the game, it kind of felt like this should be part of some spin-off DLC, but no, this is just how unhinged New Vegas gets. The main quest is a vengeance story that turns into you getting involved with every single faction in New Vegas, which we can go ahead and talk about that. This game takes the whole faction system and, well, I mean, just creates it, because when you consider Fallout 3, there basically was just like the Enclave, the Brotherhood of Steel, and I guess Raiders. I don't know, but there's way more going on. In New Vegas, you have your classic Raiders, Brotherhood of Steel like you did before, but now there's the NCR, Mr. House, the Great Khans, Boomers, Van Graffs, Kings, and of course Caesar's Legion. Or is it Kaiser? Bro, I swear they were saying like both of the names. I don't know which one's canon, which one's not. I feel like they flip between the two, and someone was really pissed at one of my friends. I said Caesar in Discord, and they were like, don't you mean like, they were just being such a fucking virgin about it. Anyways, this will become a focal point of the game because with each faction, you build a different reputation, and helping one faction might decrease your reputation with that faction. And with these reputations, it dictates how this game ends. Whichever factions you're cool with and not cool with, that is the ending you get, which makes this game already way more replayable than it is to begin with. To be honest, I think there's almost too many endings, because towards the end of the game, you are just overwhelmed with a shit ton of quests, and it's like, fuck, which one am I gonna do? And like, it's a little confusing, to be fair, but then I had to look it up. I had to talk to my friends. I was like, what the fuck is all this? Like, I had to know. I wanted to make sure what I was doing was what I actually wanted to be doing. Anyways, compare the whole faction system to the karma system in Fallout 3, and it is night and day. They're not even comparable, honestly. What I really like about these factions is that none of them are perfect. You're not gonna like everything one faction stands for, except, you know, maybe there's like Caesar's is like inherently evil, if you want to put it that way, but each one has their flaws, and you got to really pick and choose which one you want to help and which one you don't, which I feel like in a lot of other games it's objectively good, objectively bad, but not in New Vegas. The Boomers, who just want the right to bear arms but will kill anyone who approaches their compound, even if you're harmless. Then there's the Great Khans, who sling a little dope and get the whole Mojave fent walking. There are some other notable gameplay differences, like the ability to actually aim down sights, breaking down ammo you don't need to then craft ammo you do need, being able to modify weapons with new attachments like magazines, compensators, and scopes, and even small quality of life aspects like breakdown of damage per second instead of damage output, and warnings like when you're about to start a DLC, it tells you straight up that you're probably not high enough level to be doing so, but if you really want to, you can go ahead. Wish I knew that before I dropped 1,200 caps on Point Lookout. Speaking of, let's go ahead and talk DLC. My personal favorite being Honest Heart, which takes you to Zion National Park as you're caught in the middle of a tribal war, as your entire party that came with you is slaughtered upon arrival. You meet Joshua Graham, who's a fan favorite character in their series, and for good reason. He just reloads the same pistol for 12 hours a day. Bad fucking ass. As someone who's been to Zion National Park multiple times in my life, I can say this is just a perfect setting for a Fallout, and it's actually one of the only places in the whole entire franchise that actually feels totally untouched, aside from like, it's like the mutants and shit. But you know, you got like clean drinking water and preserved nature, sorta. I enjoyed the aesthetic of this one, but also just the overall tribe and war vibe it had. It gave me my favorite pistol in the game, being a light and shining darkness, but it does leave a little sour taste in your mouth, because once you complete the DLC, there's basically no reason to go back to it at all. You have the main story. There's like 3 quests that aren't part of the main quest of the DLC, so that was kind of a bummer. But then there's Dead Money. This DLC. So far, I've been glazing New Vegas, and I really loved this game, but you would think I'd give it, you know, a higher ranking than Fallout 3 so far. But then I played this DLC, and holy shit, this has totally warped, or like just left a terrible taste in my mouth with my New Vegas experience. Dead Money takes you to the lame-ass Sierra Madre Casino, where you're basically performing a heist for Elijah, and this DLC is known for being hard, which I'm sure a lot of people love a good challenge, but this is like so unbelievably difficult. At least for my build and my playthrough and my playstyle, I guess, but This was so miserable to get through. And this is one of those DLCs that, you guessed it, you cannot go back until you complete it. And it's like 5 or 6 hours, but I probably cut that down to like 3 or 4, probably 4, because I was just avoiding everything, trying to go to A to B to get this thing done as fast as I fucking could. The whole time you hear you have a dog collar around your neck that is responsive to radioactive activity, being like radios or other pieces of technology that explodes if you get too close to it for too long. And this is like, it's not like, oh, the first 30 minutes of it, then you get it off. No, this is the whole time you're here. Actually, technically, when you leave, you still have it on while you're in the wasteland afterwards, which is ridiculous. It doesn't have the same effect, but kind of crazy that this thing actually just never leaves you the rest of the game. But holy shit, was it a mechanic that was fucking unbearable. On top of that, you're stripped of all your belongings and given a dinky little energy rifle. There's booby traps everywhere, very limited heals, and it's kind of scary. The story is very interesting, but I swear I hated every fucking minute of this DLC, even if there was a somewhat compelling story. It was so hard to get through, and definitely another
skill issue.
Like I said, I was running past all the enemies, which I hate doing because enemies are, you know, just easy way to farm XP, but I was not having it with this. You know, you got to take your 3 companions and get them to the Sierra Madre, and then you can decide what to do with them after. I'll leave it at that. The only somewhat saving grace is that there is a decent payout at the end, but is kind of like a dick tease, all things considered, because you don't really get to fully enjoy it. But yeah, I learned my lesson the hard way that you can't return from this until you're finished with it. And I know for a fact, I will never play Dead Money again in my entire life. And I definitely plan on replaying New Vegas, but I will not be playing this DLC ever again. Old World Blues is a sort of a comedic take on DLC despite having some serious circumstances. You're kidnapped by scientists that have programmed their likeness with machines and steal your brain and spine and task you to take down Dr. Mobius. When I mean machines, I mean like sinks and like toasters and shit. This whole DLC was kind of like a collectathon, and that seems to be the theme there because each of those like
this DLC
AI
suck. I remember this one being hard.
You
for
can
sure.
go and collect specific like random items like trinkets to bring to them, and they'll reward you with stuff. But it is a much more light-hearted story because it's just very funny. I would just say silly and a little more whimsical maybe. But you do end with probably my favorite boss fight in the game, and the option to keep or replace your synthetic spine and brain that each had their own respective traits associated with them. People also say this is the best one like ever. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I did really enjoy it. Lastly, we have Lonesome Road, which is a very linear experience that takes you through the Great Divide as you're met with the original courier who declined the job of transferring the platinum chip in the first place. This one's pretty standard, but I will say the very end of this has probably the best payoff of any DLC or like any story really. I mean, you're left with a decision that drastically changes the rest of the game, and you don't really see that with other DLCs in Fallout. I really appreciated that. New Vegas was a phenomenal time and an excellent follow-up to Fallout 3 if you exclude Dead Money. I hate that I had to play this. I mean, genuinely, fuck, I know I'm just bitching and complaining so hard right now, but fuck this DLC. It took it down. Like, that was enough to make it not as good as Fallout 3, in my opinion. All I'm trying to say is I don't think I've ever had a phenomenal game have a 5-hour period of time where I actually hated every single minute of it. You will not change my mind about this DLC. Even with Dead Money, this game is still a masterpiece. Maybe that's what New Vegas was subliminally going for when you think about this game having a hardcore mode. This is where everything's much harder and comes to the whole healing and realism side of thing. And that's just not for me, and maybe that's why Dead Money's not for me either. Regardless, this is still a phenomenal game. I loved every minute minus 5 hours of it, and this is an A tier experience. Time for Fallout Shelter, which, as much as it pains me to say, out of all the games I've played on here, by the time my life is over, I think I'm probably gonna have the most hours on this bullshit-ass game. Also, disclaimer, I fully played this game on my phone, so the footage you're seeing is not mine. Early 2010s, it was the whole era of, like, Simpsons Tapped Out and Clash of Clans, I guess, too, where, you know, the micromanaging simulator where you min-max every living fucking attribute about your world or whatever it is. And Bethesda thought they'd take a crack at it with Fallout Shelter, and all I gotta say is that they fucking got me. Yeah, it sucks how much of a grip this game has on me. I get the notifications and I'm on my phone. It's fucking awful, but so fucking good too. Within the context of being a mobile game, this probably is an S-tier mobile game, but I would not put that in the same conversation as New Vegas or even like Fallout 2. So this is getting a C tier, even though I want to put it higher, and I probably shouldn't have included it in the first place, but yeah, that's where we stand. Now on to the most divisive game in the franchise, being Fallout 4. Sporting a much brighter and vibrant aesthetic than any other game in the franchise, you're playing as a pre-war vault dweller who witnessed his son kidnapped and wife executed as you then cryo-freeze for 200 years, wake up to find your son and his kidnappers. Sound familiar? This game reworked the 3D formula that had been established with the previous two titles and was met with a lot of controversy. I'm just gonna go ahead and speedrun some of those changes. The perk system, gone. Well, not entirely. It's kind of just reworked to like just like one giant skill tree, but you don't have to do it in order. You just have to meet the prerequisites. It's more of a clusterfuck menu that lets you use a skill point to boost a special trait or an ability within said special trait. This in turn sort of removed the build aspect since you kind of just put them all over the place at any given time, granted you've met those requirements. For me personally, I actually really dislike this because for the first time since Fallout 1 and 2, I had to actually look up a rough copy of a good build, because in this game it kind of felt easy to fuck up your character, not necessarily like in that they would be unplayable, but just not really fun. But that's probably just another
skill issue.
Another massive change was the decision to give the protagonist a voice, and I hate this shit. I think everyone does. I mean, this was kind of just miserable to get through. Not only does it make some instances feel drawn out, but then also in turn rework the whole dialogue and speech segment of this game for the worse. Not only do you only have a maximum of 4 responses to every single conversation, it doesn't even give you the whole context of what your character is gonna say. For example, there's this sarcastic option, and that could mean fucking anything. I hate that this is in the game because it's like, oh, I kind of want to be a smartass here, but like sometimes you want to be like smart, like, oh, let's crack a joke, but it's usually like insulting them, but sometimes it's not. I don't know. It just felt really inconsistent, and you just never knew what the hell was going to be said. But the last straw for this dialogue rework is the new cinematic camera angles they try and implement for key moments. This whole thing felt buggy and kind of forced, and half the time they would be looking like you wouldn't even be looking at them. I don't know. It was just weird. And also with this, I'd be spamming left click to like skip some dialogue, and I would accidentally shoot the person in front of me, like that I'm talking to, in the face. I know I can't be the only one who was doing that, but like this took a lot of getting used to. It did not feel natural. Another change is the whole entire health, rads, and action point system. Now there's a sprint button, which again, I don't think we really needed. I mean, I guess every game has it, but it did take some getting used to because action points were taken up by your sprint, and sometimes you'd be sprinting and then you turn a corner and it's like, oh, let me get into VATS, and it's like, oh shit, I have no VATS because I used all my action points sprinting. Rads seem to be much more of an annoyance in this game. Your maximum health would decrease the more rads you got, but to counteract this, health items healed you more and seemed way more abundant in this game. So just another thing to get used to and not necessarily bad. Gun and armor conditions completely got removed, which kind of took away from the survival element of the previous games, as well as injuries still being healed with the stim pack or also by waiting like 15 seconds. The combat is well refined to fit a more traditional first-person shooter element, which I enjoyed. Again, this is another one of the polarizing changes, but it kind of made it easier to go back to and less clunky, but still clunky somehow. I don't know. That's about it for the big changes to the meat and potatoes of a Fallout game, but aside from the insane jump in graphical detail and quality, and the combat kind of turning into Call of Duty, at its core, this is another Fallout experience. This game has a lot to offer in the content side of things, but more doesn't always mean better. I think the factions in this one are kind of weak. The Minutemen are the first one you meet up with, and although having a decent cause, all this motherfucker wants you to do is build and expand his settlements, and this is a feature that I just did not explore whatsoever in this game. I don't really like the whole micromanaging thing, I guess, unless it's on my fucking iPhone. But I do think this is the best depiction of the Brotherhood of Steel. They are just a full-blown force to be reckoned with the whole blimp. You know, you just get that question, it's like, yo, what's this blimp? Let's go inspect it. And then it turns out being the Brotherhood of Steel, and they're just absolutely fucking badass in this game. I ended up siding with them for the end of this game, and I'm really glad I did. I feel like just being part of this big-ass militia that is just a full-blown military. This game also got some DLC. Nuka World and Automatrons were fine, both small, especially Auto, and Nuka World also sporting Andrew WK as a voice actor. Kind of badass. Nuka World aesthetically was one of the best ideas for a DLC, being an amusement park, kind of like this whole Zombieland, like Point Lookout to it. A lot of people hated it because it made you lead multiple sects of raiders, which I didn't have a problem with. I thought it was actually kind of cool, like seeing raiders like talk and not just be bad people. But what I didn't like was the straight up quest design. It starts off hot with you killing the leader of the raiders, which crowns you as a leader, but then you have one of the most ridiculous fetch quests of all time, being like I think it's like 30 fucking items, and none of which are marked in your map, and it's also a very broad area of the map, and that's where I was just like, fuck it, I'm not playing this DLC. I already wasn't really like super compelled in the first place, but this was just the nail in the coffin. However, I just have 3 words for you: Far fucking Harbor. This DLC,
you, just you, building your app on base 44.
Rocks. After you free Nick Valentine in the main quest, so I know anyone else get like super uncomfortable by looking at his neck through like his body. It was fucking disgusting. Anyways, you're given an independent job to search for a missing girl, and it's quickly discovered that she left home to explore the synth refuge in the town of Far Harbor. I think this is the biggest DLC Bethesda has ever done in size and actual amount of content as well. And this was leaps and bounds my favorite thing about Fallout 4 by a landslide. This does so much for the game that I probably would have ranked this game very mid, but this really brought it up several points. This is the perfect story of searching for one thing and finding like 6 other things instead, each of which you get super invested in and forget why you're there in the first place, which is a telltale sign that you're playing a very good RPG. You're introduced to multiple sub-factions, I guess you can call them, and you choose which to side with, each having several quests amongst them, the Children of Adam and the Synth Refuge Camp and being the 2 big ones. The aesthetic takes a Lake Town vibe right on the docks, kind of reminded me of Stormalong from Flapjack, and there is just so much going on here and so much to do. I don't want to spoil anything here, but there's so much replayability with Fallout in and of itself, but I almost wish there was a way to like replay just this DLC and keep everything the same, because this DLC has so many different endings and so many different decisions to make and routes to take that it is just a very fun experience. It almost feels like a chore getting through Fallout 4 to the point where you can play this DLC because of how good this fucking DLC is. There's only one really rough part, and that being Dima's memories. I'm just going to show you like a little puzzle thing going on here. It's not even that it was annoying. Well, yes, it was annoying, but there was just like 5 of them and they took kind of a long time. I wasn't really fucking with it. Other than that, this is a perfect DLC. I will actually go as far and say this is the best DLC in Fallout. We went there. Back to the main game, which as you can tell, I wasn't exactly thrilled with. The whole skill point thing just makes you rethink how you're going to play Fallout and just does not play like Fallout 3 or New Vegas whatsoever. It is actually considerably different. And again, different does not mean bad. In a weird way, I would actually recommend this being, if you've never played a Fallout game, this is probably a good place to start because the combat's a little more simplified and VATs are also super fucking broken. If you go for a VATs build, like I got Kellogg's pistol and that thing just carried me through this game because I had a VATS build. The game introduced a much more lore accurate power armor that I also didn't bother with. I don't really like being slow, but you know, if you want to be a big tank guy who can just fuck everything up, you can do that and like, you know, min-max it as well. Apparently this game is really good for mods and the mod community kind of just like kicks ass. So that's pretty cool. I can always get down with that, but again, I'm not taking that into consideration for this ranking because I'm just vanilla and DLC only, and we're not going to talk about that, even though I'd love to play as Woody and whatever the fuck else I'm going to show on screen. I'm sure there's some crazy shit going on that'd be fun to experience, but it's still a fun Fallout game. The main story kind of gets like dystopian, this whole like Blade Runner vibe going on with the synths. The synths were a pretty decent faction at best, I'll give it that. But I want to emphasize one more time, I would rank this lower if it weren't for Far Harbor, and that's the only reason this game is getting a B tier.
B tier. Aw. This is getting us
Asking
D
someone
for
to rank
sure.
Fallout 76 is sort of like asking someone to rank like Fortnite. Do I rank it for the double pump, non-sweaty build golden era of the game, or the K-pop, Demon Hunter, and Simpsons era of the game? And for Fallout 76, do I rank it for the unplayable, no NP in sight era, or the modern, lukewarm, half-baked, yet somewhat more enjoyable than the launch version of the game? You know, not one time, especially during playing Fallout games, or any single-player game for that matter, have ever been like, man, this would be so dope if I could play this with someone else. Yet Fallout 76 still exists. Being the 76th installment in the franchise, Bethesda was trying to spice things up and really take a chance by giving the Wasteland internet access. And the result is a mixed bag of reactions. I don't think I need to bore you with another history lesson behind this game and its dreadful launch, or the infamous canvas bag debacle, which you can learn more about if you watch my Death of the Collector's Edition video after this one. But 76 has come a long way, and playing it for the first time in 2025, I seem to be getting spoiled compared to the garbage that was served in 2018. But not by much. This just isn't for me. I feel like this is a grind fest that has no end in sight when you consider that this is taking a single player game, as a matter of fact, a game that has always been single player, and giving it the multiplayer and like live service treatment. Like, could you imagine if you heard like, I don't know, God of War was getting a live service game? That's basically what's going on here. I mean, this game has a shop, and for a microsecond there, even had a fucking battle royale. You cannot make this shit up. I just don't know who was asking for this. The quests are dull, and I don't care about anything that's going on. And since this game is multiplayer, VATS also is way different, that it doesn't slow time at all, and the whole experience just doesn't feel like Fallout. They did revert some of the changes of Fallout 4, like there's no talking protagonist, which, you know, huge W there. And also, speaking of talking, you can actually see what you're going to say and have more than 4 options about what you're going to respond to. So kudos there, but I mean, like, if that's the very least we're getting, it's still a total fucking L. But aside from the microtransactions in an already $40 game, the last straw for me was when I leveled up and I got like a pack, and I opened that pack and it had like a perk that I would randomly kit. I mean, what the fuck? How out of touch are you? Pack openings for any game or loot boxes, I thought that was way behind us, but this is 2025, and not being able to choose unless I'm buying it probably to have the ability I want to have is fucking ridiculous for a game that was originally single player nonetheless. I'll never touch this game, and I ended up refunding it on Steam. This is a detail.
Oh, I've never played London.
Real quick, just like a shameless plug, Fallout London, this shit's badass. I'm barely playing it right now. Probably shouldn't have included it, but this does everything right. Basically kind of what Fallout 4 should have been, and also took us to a place that we've never seen in the post-nuclear, war. The traditional leveling's back. It's free to play. It's super easy to install. I think the devs worked really hard, and you should definitely show them some love because this is a really fun experience. I barely even scratched the surface, but I know I'm going to like it more than Fallout 4, but again, Far Harbor does exist, and I don't think I can rank it up there with New Vegas. I'm really enjoying my playthrough so far, and like you can just tell TLC was put into this game, unlike 76. Not to say Fallout 4 didn't have TLC. I think that game's still okay, but this is just a super in-depth world with so much to do for a free experience, assuming you already have Fallout 4. I mean, you got to at least give this a shot. I'm giving it a B tier at the very least. I probably shouldn't even put on this list just because it's not made by, official licensed game, but whatever. Go check this out.
Amazon's Fallout.
I like to cap things off by talking about the Fallout TV show, which actually I had watched before playing any of these. I watched it when it first aired, and this shit was fucking awesome. I want to start it off by saying that I watched this show as someone who had never played a Fallout game ever. I knew I had no attachment to the show, and I really enjoyed it. And even after playing all these games, I think I like it even more now because I think the flavor of Fallout was captured very well with it. I think it's just objectively a good show, even if you're not into video games. If you just want a good ass show with a good narrative, I'm super fucking excited for season 2. And in turn, I'm giving the show an A tier. But yeah, here's my list. This is every Fallout game ranked. Again, as someone who never played it until this video, what'd you think? What do you hate the most? This ranking probably pissed a lot of you off, but fuck it, let me have it in the comments. Let me hear what you like, what you don't like. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, maybe consider subscribing because a lot of you aren't, and it would really help out the channel. And I'd really appreciate it. If you want to hear me,
I'll consider it, maybe. Whoa.
Finding the things you and your family need to be well.
The Halo franchise revolutionized the gaming world overnight. With the insane lore and storytelling, a competitive multiplayer with a modest skill gap, and enough custom games to give you way more than your money's worth, and I just so happen to have played and ranked every single one, including a few you probably haven't even heard of. One game will be getting the S+ ranking, be deemed the best Halo game of all time, and another the F ranking and be the worst game in the franchise. With so many Halo games out there and a lot of polarizing opinions, I'm destined to ruffle at least a couple feathers with this video, so go ahead and drop your favorite and least favorite Halo games down below.
You get just want to B tier.
The place where it all began, Halo Combat Evolved, a revolutionary launch title for the original Xbox that capitalized on the success of other FPS titles on consoles such as GoldenEye, and also refined them to be the objective best first-person shooter at the time. I hadn't played Halo CE since Master Chief Collection initially dropped, and I still had a really fun time with this playthrough, setting the stage for what the Halo universe had to offer while creating a smooth experience from level to level with clean controls, sandbox-like level design, and rounding things off with a fairly difficult game, which would be a reoccurring theme Bungie would take pride in moving forward. Playing a game that's over 2 decades old, you'd expect at least some quality of life problems or some things that just don't age as well, and I still can't find much to complain about this game. It holds up very well. If I had to knock it for one thing, your friendly AI sometimes stops progressing the levels for a minute or two, and that's it. And it happens a good bit, but at the end of the day, you're just sitting there for 1 minute extra versus going seamlessly through the level, which really not a big deal. The levels are fairly long and often longer than some of the more recent installments, which is impressive. However, longer doesn't necessarily always mean better. Pause. True. But what I mean by that is that some of these missions can feel a little stale. You're just kind of doing the same thing over, going from A to B, and not really much objective to it. The arsenal is much more narrow in comparison, but we did get the best version of the assault rifle and magnum, which makes this game so much fun to play. As far as the story goes, it is spectacular. Getting introduced to the Flood in this game, especially if you didn't experience the newer games first, had to have been pretty scary if you weren't ready for it. And of course, we can't talk about Halo C without glazing over the soundtrack. This soundtrack is up there with Ocarina of Time, and it's one of those things Bungie also takes pride in, is just making sure the soundtrack absolutely slaps, and it always does. is. Unfortunately, servers for Combat Evolved on the MCC are completely barren, and I couldn't find a game to save my life, so all I have for the multiplayer is what I experienced when I was younger, which isn't a lot. And we can also go ahead and mention that this game launched with no multiplayer support on the online side of things. The only way to play multiplayer is split screen or system link. I got to play split screen. I never got to do like a LAN party. That was kind of before my time. I wish I could have. That sounds like just such an epic night of gaming. For the most part, my experience with Combat Evolved multiplayer is running up Blood Gulch with one of my neighbors and playing 1v1 on the biggest map in the game, mind you, and screen peeking the living shit out of each other. Even without online support, it's pretty clear to see that Bungie actually put some thought into this multiplayer for what it is, but it's definitely not as good as the later installments when it comes to multiplayer, but for the time was still very fun. Combat Evolved to this day is still a very good time, and it's so satisfying seeing the whole Halo universe unfold this way. But looking back at it, I do think it's a weaker installment, not because it's bad whatsoever, but because the games to come are just so perfect. So I think a B tier is appropriate for Combat Evolved.
Oh, I'll give it a C.
Combat Evolved may have capitalized on
is
GoldenEye,
so
but
good.
Halo 2 capitalized on Combat Evolved. And all I gotta say is 3 words: breaking f***ing Benjamin. Continuing right after Halo 1, Halo 2 has that same gameplay loop,
Best
but is
game of all time.
refined in every single way. There are tons of new weapons, such as the fan-favorite battle rifle, energy sword, and SMG, with the latter having a dual-wield option, which will become a hearsay to the franchise. Also, I don't know why, but this is the only game you can run dual-wield needlers, and I wish that would come back as well. There's other quality of life improvements to the overall gameplay, such as hijacking vehicles and improved melee with a lunge mechanic, and boosting with the ghost. And of course, since this is a newer game, it has better graphics than Combat Evolved, and with that we get the absolute cursed profit teeth. Not that graphics really matter that much, but just thought it was worth a shout here. But this campaign rocks. One of my favorite parts about this campaign is you get to actually play on planet Earth as it's getting invaded by the Covenant, which is something that's always kind of just talked about off screen or not even really depicted whatsoever. Beginning to experience it firsthand is awesome, and these also are some of the most fun levels in the game. And if Chief wasn't enough of a badass in Combat Evolved, he goes full Tom Cruise Mission Impossible in this game. The bomb sequence in the first level is just crazy in that regard. And like we talked about in Combat Evolved, this game's difficulty is insane. If you play on Legendary, it is just f you hard. Bordering the line of like so hard it's not even fun. I think Combat Evolved's levels were solid, but Halo 2 took a more objective-based approach and gave the game a bit more of a cinematic feel. On top of having great level design and refined gameplay, the narrative itself is the best in the franchise. Seeing the Arbiter go on a redemption arc as you flash in between Chief and him until they unite and form an alliance between the Covenant is one of the most satisfying stories in any game I have ever played. I do not remember the story being this good, but it aged so well, and it just keeps on giving you so much more lore that Halo Combat Evolved already gave us. And I think Halo 2 is the game that got people really start to like nerd out over the franchise. But now we move on to the Halo 2 multiplayer, which I think is a significant step up from Combat Evolved for a handful of reasons. We can begin with the introduction of Xbox Live, which single-handedly popularized online gaming on consoles and especially online FPS gaming. Again, I was pretty young for this, but I think at this point, online gaming, especially for FPSs, was just kind of...
I remember I had to go to my friend's house to play online because we couldn't get Wi-Fi at my house because like we were so out in the sticks. But I remember going to my friend's house and playing, and dude, Halo was so much fun.
PC thing. However,
Even
like
split
Combat
screen
Evolved,
was
I wasn't
fun.
able to find a game in 2025, but I got to experience a good amount of this as a kid. All those new guns and techs are in multiplayer, which in and of itself make it a greater experience. There are tons of options and sliders for creating your own custom games with tons of modes to choose from. And there's also a ton of great maps and a couple map packs that were added post-launch for paid. And then I think like 2 or 3 weeks later, again, I was not around for this, they were made retroactively free. Don't know why they did that, but that's probably like the most generous thing Microsoft has ever done in their life. I think this is where Halo multiplayer would become equally as important as the campaign, and I think that shows with the next couple of games we're about to talk about. I don't really have much else to say about Halo 2 other than I want to reiterate that this is the best campaign in the franchise and arguably one of the best linear style campaigns of any game I've ever played. The multiplayer saw a big improvement, and I think the success of Halo 2 multiplayer is the reason online gaming is where it is today, and I'm giving Halo 2 an S ranking.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG.
Here's what I say: Halo, because we did Mary Master Achievements. Halo 3 is the best campaign multiplayer. We can't argue that. It's just my personal favorite. My favorite game of all time is Halo 2, and it always will be. But Halo 3, objectively, is the best Halo, and I'm willing to admit that. But just know, if they're like, hey, what's your favorite? It's Halo 2 all day, baby. All day. It's Halo 2
Halo
all
3 to
day.
this day is still the best-selling Halo game of all time.
Yep.
Launching on the 360, it perfectly encapsulated everything great about the Halo franchise this far, while adding some absolute game changers that would redefine what was expected of developers moving forward. This campaign is pretty close to Halo 2. I do think Halo 2 is better, but Halo 3's campaign is still insane. Seeing Chief wake up and threaten the Arbiter without the knowledge of the truce that had been established between the Covenant and humanity is still one of my favorite moments in the franchise. The sandbox level design is still somehow evolving with Halo 3, and the epic battles against the Scarabs with an entourage of Marines at your side really help you feel like you're fighting a war and not just completing objectives. The game ends with an extremely satisfying tie the bow moment for what might be the greatest trilogy in gaming history, with great arcs coming to a close for multiple characters. And if you didn't shed a tear at 9 years old during the death of Sergeant Johnson, can you even call yourself a Halo fan? On top of a great ending to a story, this also has one of the best last missions in any game I've ever played. Not to be cringe, but I still got chills running it back for this video while I'm on a Warthog as Halo is exploding and one final effort is blaring in my ear. I would not be surprised if a lot of you skip to this exact point in this video where I talk about Halo 3 multiplayer, because boy is it a good one. Similar to Halo 2, we now have a handful of new guns like the Spartan Laser and Gravity Hammer, and a new feature was the equipment, which played a very big part in this game's multiplayer since there was a wide variety with what each did. But where things really started to get interesting are the new vehicles. The Chopper being a fan favorite just because of how unique it was, the Hornet just to give players an option outside of the Banshee as far as air vehicles went, the Mongoose, which I totally thought was in Halo 2 but was first implemented in Halo 3 and is really important for something we'll talk about in just another minute. And then you had the fucking Elephant, which is exclusive to the map Samtrap but gave you just like this mobile base with tons of turrets on it and just made for crazy sequences in big team battle. But since we're talking about maps, we can go ahead and run through some of the bangers of this map. We have Valhalla, High Ground, Rat's Nest, Standoff, Foundry, and of course,
Stupid fucking snowbound. Veto this shit, you assholes.
With all this, the playlists were very extensive and you would never run out of stuff to play. This is the first game that I had played with a consistent double XP weekend, with some party modes like Griffball being the focal point that would give you endless fun. But if there's one thing Halo 3 is known for above all, it has to be the introduction of Forge. I don't know what the fuck we did to deserve this, but Forge is one of the craziest, like, bonus modes to any game and is a whole game in and of itself. Giving literally every asset within the game to the entire community to cook up whatever they want is one of the most genius plays by Bungie. Since the game to begin with had an amazing physics and good engine, people made all sorts of side games like Fat Kid, Jenga, custom infection maps, and of course Race. And the beauty of Forge is you didn't have to be the creative one to enjoy it because they made this file share system, which on a side note is kind of crazy technology for 2007. Forge would come back in later installments, but for what it was, this was more than enough for us. And then you also have the theater mode, which was surprisingly way in depth for, again, just no apparent reason. Red versus blue, that's all because of theater mode, and then just reliving some of the craziest interactions that happened in a multiplayer game forever because of theater mode is awesome. And there's still plenty of multiplayer games that just don't have any type of functionality like this. If you haven't caught the vibe yet, it should come to no surprise that this is the greatest Halo game out there, and it gets the S+ ranking. And although this was my very first Halo game, I still think it's the best one. That might be some bias, but this game is just so perfect.
You're good. It's all you. Halo Wars is alright.
If you watch my Lord of the Rings video, you would know that I am just not an RTS guy. So ranking Halo Wars was pretty difficult. With so many factions and large-scale battles, it's only fitting that Halo Wars exists. And I'm also going to come clean that I had no idea that Halo, the original concept, was going to be an RTS game. Totally news to me. So it's kind of cool to see this full circle moment happen, and Halo Wars is that moment. And I'm so sorry, but this game was just not made for me. My brain likes shoot thing, my brain don't like click thing. I don't have much to reference here, but it's much more user-friendly than other games I've tried to play, but something I would never come back to. This game is very much so a Halo game, even though apparently 343 had practically nothing to do with it, and that would also be why the story basically stands aside on its own and doesn't really have much to do with what we've seen in the game so far. So to me, that kind of feels like a forced project, but again, I don't have the authority to talk about this game, really. The game did have a pretty good soundtrack and was underrated, and I for sure appreciated that, and it kind of goes unnoticed. I'm going to be a lame-o here. I'm just giving it a C tier because I don't really know how to rank this game. The way these games work is I start to learn them, and by the time I'm like halfway through with it, I start to catch on, but I really just didn't have fun the whole time. As far as I've read, as people who really like RTS games, this is a really like dumbed down baby version of it, and I still don't really understand it. So go ahead and comment your experience with Halo Wars.
ODST C here for sure. What a ODST so good if you have the time to just play it. it just takes.
ODST is a spin-off DLC title based off of the Halo 3 engine that takes place during the events of Halo 2. You play as the orbital drop shot troopers who get split up from each other as you try and reconvene with each other throughout one night. Detective work, flashbacks, and street sweeping are the name of the game here as you go through an entirely new setting for the entire game. I stated that I really like the Halo 2 segments where you play in Metropolis and like the whole city vibe, and Halo 3 ODST is only that, so I really enjoyed this.
Oh, you really brought out the thing for it.
Like an actual military perspective instead of just like the Spartan like mega soldier is pretty unique, and the whole vibe of the game is just different. Aside from the setting, you have like the silence guns, which as far as I'm concerned didn't change how they functioned at all. Pretty sure if you shot these like from super far away, the enemies would still hear it, so I don't know why they did that, but I still kind of enjoyed using them. And the soundtrack, holy shit, the soundtrack is so good in this game and has so many like just beautiful sequences. This first level has this Pink Floyd trip sequence that feels like you're just like transcending humanity, and then other parts just feel like devastatingly sad and bleak, and it's just so perfect. Also, since you're not a Spartan, the health system is a little more traditional.
I don't know what it is about like Halo, but like hearing people talk about Halo, dude, just takes me back. You know what I mean? I get a little emotional. I wouldn't say emotional, but maybe it's like I get a little feeling in my heart, and I'm like, God, these were good times. God, playing this game for the first time was so good.
Which takes some getting used to, and I think a lot of people hate that for this reason, but for the sake of continuity, you're not a Spartan, so that kind of makes more sense. Playing as the rookie and other members of the squad gives you a taste of each character and has some of the more like upbeat and funny moments for the franchise. This game also houses one of my favorite missions in the entire franchise, where your squad hijacks a Phantom and you escort the Phantom, and they like don't know how to drive and they're kind of like crashing into shit. Pretty cool. Outside of the short and sweet campaign, this is the game that gave us Firefight, which has become another fan favorite. This is one of those modes that could easily feel like it's just shoehorned in last second, but Firefight went pretty hard for no reason. It's the Onslaught mode, which was the, you know, the craze of the time. You know, there were zombies and Horde and all that stuff, which it's in the conversation. I'm not sure if it's better than either of those. Probably not, honestly. It was pretty fun for what it was. What I really liked about it is that there was a ton of customization for this mode. You could change what guns you use and all types of difficulty sliders and skulls. All of that was here right at launch day. And Firefight, kind of like Forge, would spawn a subgenre of players throughout the other games, which was really cool. We already established that this game is short and sweet, and since it's like a DLC title, I think it MSRP'd for like $40, which games were $60 at the time, so it definitely was not supposed to be like a full-fledged game. But one thing I really liked about this game that I think is worth mentioning as far as like the value of it is that it came with the second disc that had Halo 3 multiplayer with all the DLC included. And for me, I never bought the Halo 3 DLC multiplayer, so buying ODST and getting this was definitely like somewhat valuable at the time, and I think that gave it enough content to almost make it a full-fledged game. Halo 3 ODST is a fun experience, and I'm putting it up there with Combat Evolved. It gets a B.
Halo Reach.
Halo Reach sort of falls in the same category as Halo 3 ODST. Not in that it's a DLC game, because it's definitely not that, but that it's more so like a standalone title that doesn't have much to do with Master Chief whatsoever. You follow Noble Team and play as Noble 6.
He says that until you get to the end, you realize that Autumn, the Fall of Autumn, had Chief on it. Oh my God, that pissed
you
me
defend
off
the
when I finally clicked.
Reach from the Covenant.
Actually, Mary Master Chief is when it clicked. Is when I realized
levels,
it.
Including a dogfight mission. And replaying this mission for this video made me question why 343 hasn't made some stupid cash grab game that's like a Starfighter clone. There are new gameplay elements, and I want to talk about the arsenal first, which is really fun. Guns like the needle rifle, grenade launcher, and the DMR in place of the battle rifle. And then on the more polarizing side of things, you have new armor abilities, which come in a few different shapes and sizes. The armor lock, a basic sprint function, jetpacks, invisibility, this super rolled thing, and a hologram as well. Where I think this campaign really shined is the tear-jerking ending. It is so devastating, and it's kind of like Star Wars Rogue One. It's just like everyone's a martyr. Spoiler alert, but watching every single member of Noble Team basically sacrifice themselves to enable you to save Planet Reach, and then you in turn die as well, is just pretty devastating. The multiplayer is a lot of people's favorites and definitely one of mine with how varied it was. The biggest new feature was the loadout system, which is kind of the reason a lot of people don't like this game. It's not too polarizing for the most part. It's basically just choosing which armor ability you spawn in with. And I still don't know how I feel about this, because part of me thinks if sprinting's in the game, everyone should have it, but then some of them are so not good and others are really good. You're probably only going to use like the same 2, maybe 3 at all times. A lot of these are just situational at best and a lot of times just irrelevant. And this is where a lot of people started to say that Halo turned into Call of Duty, which I don't agree with that, but it was definitely different than what we were used to for sure. I for sure prefer finding the armor abilities, or basically like in Halo 3,
you play every Call of Duty
throughout the map scattered, and then you just have it as like a one-off. But having these like static abilities did change it, and not for better or for worse. It's just different, which doesn't doesn't always mean bad. But where this game starts to go absolutely sicko dummy mode is the Forge. You now have Forge World, which is basically a blank canvas and a huge map to just make whatever you want, and then there's also more assets and more structures that you can also just make even more complex things. They even added a dedicated race mode with checkpoints and stuff to like actually track who's coming in first and who's the fastest and stuff. In some ways, it feels like they spent more time on Forge than they did on the multiplayer, because a lot of the multiplayer maps in this game are just Forge World maps that the devs created, which isn't a bad thing, but it kind of makes the setting feel a little stale. And the reason I say that is because the other maps that aren't on Forge World, like the original maps, just don't feel that good. And while we're on the topic of pre-existing modes, I have to give Firefight a shout here. This is the best game for Firefight. I already said Halo 3 ODST Firefight was phenomenal, but this gave even more customization to it, which I didn't even think was possible. And I feel like there's even more maps and just more content, and they just kind of refined and built upon what Halo 3 ODST did with Firefight, and that's great. Reach was a great way to cap off the Bungie era of Halo games, and is just another masterpiece to add to the catalog. The game took custom games and added it to a new level that we didn't even think was possible, and also gave us one of the most devastating stories to go along with it. Halo Reach gets an S tier.
Halo 4, dude, duh and D.
Switch to TurboTax.
Halo 4 and D. That game fucking sucked. I need to play 5. I haven't even played 5. But Halo 4 sucked.
Well, here we are, the first game made by 343. Halo 4 brings back the story of Master Chief and his legacy moving forward as he deals with the new Promethean faction while Cortana is deteriorating. And all there really is to be said about this is I don't give a about literally anything that goes on in this game. I should care that Cortana's dying, but nothing around the situation really is compelling enough to be invested in the game in the first place. As far as campaign goes, it's kind of the same gameplay loop, except now there's a ton of guns that just are not fun to use and just are filler guns. And the whole game is basically centered around you using those guns because it doesn't give you enough ammo for like the assault rifle and other guns that you're used to using. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I think this is probably the worst Halo campaign out there as far as like a mainline installment. And you can't blame 343 too much because pretty much no matter what they did with this game, people were gonna be pissed.
No,
I mean,
bullshit, because that boss fight at the end was was awful. That was the worst boss fight I've ever had in my life. That was the worst ending to any video game I've ever played in my life. Ever.
I still don't think this is acceptable, but
fucking
I mean,
stupid.
at least they tried. It's not the worst thing out there, but
like
it's
this,
pretty damn
so dumb. How do you have this boss fight? And it's building up, and you're like, "I'm gonna kill you," and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and it's like, "No, I'm gonna kill you," and then all you do is press LT one time. Just, it sucks. How do I mute it?
I mean, at least they tried. It's not the worst thing out there, but it's pretty damn close. And the last level, or last boss fight, I guess, being a quick time event is the dumbest shit of all time. It won't come to surprise either that you can't find a game in 2025 for Halo 4. But surprisingly, I actually spent a good amount of time in this multiplayer back when it launched. It's actually not terrible. This is actually, though, where Halo started to become Call of Duty. Now you have Create a Class that actually has perks and other types of modifications, like what grenades you spawn in with, which I don't like that at all. Within the context of being a good multiplayer game, it's actually not that bad, but for Halo, this is where like innovation you turn into like deterioration. And then other huge changes to the gameplay loop were that the dedicated power weapon spawns are now completely random. Part of Halo's whole entire gameplay loop was fighting over the power weapon spawn so you could have it for your team and, you know, in turn win the game. But now having that element move from the game entirely is another reason this just does not feel like Halo. And if you don't have a power weapon, chances are if you run out of ammo, you're going to be picking up one of those stupid Promethean guns that no one wants to use in the first place, so also not helping this game's case at all. I did really like the SAW LMG though. But of all things, where this game gets the biggest thumbs down is how bad they
final boss
Forge.
of all
Forge
time.
Island was this game's Forge World.
It is the dumbest final boss fight of all time.
That didn't come out until a year later, and this game's maps were just not Forge friendly whatsoever, meaning you couldn't really like create anything you wanted to like you could in Halo Reach.
You can't find another game with a worse boss fight.
Game support, and there was now even less options within Forge itself for customization. Mind you, by now at this time there is a dedicated subgenre of players that only play custom games, and they just couldn't really do that with Halo 4. If Halo Reach was the perfect amount of innovation without too much to ruin it, Halo 4 was way too much innovation to give the game a damn near identity crisis. I would argue that so far of every game we've talked about, this has the worst campaign and the
I haven't played Halo 5, so if this is F, I'm not surprised.
To go along with it, and I'm giving
game.
this a D tier. Quick dishonorable mention to Halo Master Chief Collection for being one of the worst launches I've ever firsthand experienced in my life. The idea of every classic Halo game all in one title for a pretty decent price at the time is one of the best out there. However, 343 clearly did not give a shit about this launch because it did not function properly whatsoever. There was not a single title that worked for its online support.
It's been 20 minutes. 20 minutes of searching. Nothing. Not a single match.
Matchmaking couldn't find a game, and the few times that it actually would get a game, it would just be super laggy and unplayable, and this would not be fixed for several months after the fact.
You gotta be kidding me. They didn't fix a goddamn thing.
Not to mention, you could even kick people out of a public game, including ranked games. This might actually be the worst thing 343 has ever done to Halo.
Here we go.
Halo Spartan Assault was a mobile game that eventually saw a Windows release. It's 343's second attempt at a game, and they thought a top-down Dead Ops arcade-like gameplay was necessary. This is another game that's pretty hard to rank because it's technically just a mobile game that's like $2 or $3, but I'm still going to be pretty harsh on it because at the end of the day, it is just like a time waster, like iPad baby game, and I'm more so mad that this game just exists entirely whatsoever. The levels are extremely short, and I mean like 45 seconds short sometimes. The gameplay for what it is isn't bad per se, but there are a million other games in the App Store that might as well be this exact same game. It also bends the lore pretty hard to where like things just don't make sense. Like there's brutes and elites fighting at the same time, where at the timeline that just wouldn't be a thing. But where this game takes the most offense towards the Halo IP is that this game is a paid-for game on the App Store and then has microtransactions within the game. There's a whole loadout system within this game where, you know, customize what gun you have and other sorts of trinkets and stuff. And this whole feature is basically locked behind a microtransaction. If you want any type of armor power up, you basically have to pay money, which is so stupid. As stated before, within the context of being a mobile game, this isn't the worst thing out there, but I'm still going to be harsh. I'm giving it an F tier. It is the worst game in the franchise.
Microtransactions, F.
Spartan Strike was a sequel to Spartan Assault, and it's basically the same game, only Spartan Strike has a lot more depth to it. The story actually is pretty cohesive and has dedicated voice acting and an overarching narrative that actually makes kind of somewhat sense. That's the biggest change to this game, is that the levels are way longer and actually have somewhat enjoyable to complete. Not to mention, I didn't see any type of microtransactions when I played this game. So as far as I know, that was removed entirely, which gives it at least one letter grade knocked up. It's still not worth your time. I mean, it is free if you want to just like a time waster on your phone. I'm sure it'll tickle that itch, but it's still a D tier.
Never play Halo 5.
Go ahead and pour one out for me because I had no idea that Halo 5 was an Xbox One exclusive and still hasn't seen like any type of PC port, meaning I had to rev up the old 2013 Xbox One dinosaur that doesn't even function unless I have it hardwired to my router. F this game, fuck this console. Halo 5 Guardians is 343's second attempt at a mainline Halo game, and as far as I'm concerned, this is basically Halo 4 all over again. The campaign is super uncompelling, and the marketing almost made it a mystery as to what the f was even going on. Is Master Chief a bad guy? Is there like a Master Chief doppelganger? Did the USNC turn on him? What the hell is going on? That was what everyone thought before this game came out. I never played it after it initially launched, but then you played the game and the first hour, that whole entire conflict is resolved and it has nothing to do with that. Gameplay is very similar to Halo 4, except now it feels like they want to be a Call of Duty clone, but for all the wrong reasons. Remember that whole jetpack era of Call of Duty for like 3 years? Well, Halo 5 wanted to cash in on that, even though Call of Duty players didn't really like that either. And for the sake of Halo, it does make a little more sense. The thruster pack movement and stuff isn't terrible. I don't really mind it that much actually, but I do think it actually had something to do with Call of Duty doing the same thing. I'm just gonna go out and say that. And just like Halo 4, there's even more guns that no one likes using. They just feel like filler weapons, and people just want their classic, you know, assault rifle and sniper and shotgun and just the classic UNSC lineup. I will say I did notice there's a new revive system that is in campaign even when you're playing solo. And so if you're playing on Legendary, the fact that I'm assuming this mechanic still exists where if you die, you're just going to get revived by your squad and keep going, kind of defeats the purpose of how difficult these games are supposed to be, which I'm sure diehard fans are not too happy about. And cap off the story with Cortana turning bad, and I still just don't give a f. I should, but I just don't. On the multiplayer, where there are tons of people who swear up and down that this is one of the best Halo multiplayer experiences out there, to which I have no response because I never got to play it. Like I said, I missed the launch window for this game, not because on accident, just because I had no interest in this game. And now when I try and load into a game, I even like widen the search parameters, which is kind of cool. You can do that in this game, and I still can't find a game. I thought if people liked it so much, there'd be at least some type of dedicated fan base for it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I also did try playing it like on a Tuesday at like 2 o'clock, so maybe that's why. Apparently this game, like most modern titles, had an extremely rocky launch, but was in a solid state a year after. But I'll leave this one up to you guys. I wish I could play this because it looks kind of fun, but there seem to be a lot of polarizing opinions about it. Probably something I would have enjoyed, kind of like Halo 4. At least I would enjoy it a little bit for a while. But overall, with my experience with Halo 5, it is pretty much like Halo 4. I'm giving it a D tier.
Yeah. Oh. Halo Wars 2.
People seem pretty opinionated as to if Halo Wars 1 or Halo Wars 2 is a better game. And since, like we said before, I'm not the guy to ask about this, I'm probably going to piss someone off with any opinion I'm about to have on these. Developed by Creative Assembly, Halo Wars 2 takes a near identical approach to Halo Wars 1 with a similar HUD and gameplay loop. Only for whatever reason, even I can tell that this is a dumbed down or simpler version of Halo Wars 1. A big part of Halo Wars 1 was upgrading your guys' abilities and like what they could do as soldiers. And Halo Wars 2, this seems to be a much more sidelined experience in that regard. In Halo Wars 2, I just basically ramp up until I have a crazy army and then just swarm over the level and beat it like in one go. And again, that kind of ties back into how this is supposed to be a simpler RTS game, and I think that's what it was. So I'm pretty indifferent about the two. The cutscenes are really beautiful. I did appreciate that, but that only gets you so far. As far as I'm concerned, these games are interchangeable. If anything, I might like Halo Wars 2 more just because of how easy it is. And I'm, again, not the guy to ask about this. I'm giving it a C tier just like Halo Wars 1.
Halo Infinite. Never played campaign, only played multiplayer.
But now we're at the most recent installment being Halo Infinite. Probably one of the most anticipated launches for a game in recent memory, and it did surprise... surprisingly well. The campaign took an ambitious open world approach that I don't think a lot of people were asking for, but was done okay. To this day, I don't know how I feel about Halo going open world, because Halo, the whole thing is like very story driven. So when you just like have an open world hub where you're not going from mission to mission, which is the whole purpose of Halo, but you know, you're always up to something cohesively for the story, doesn't really make much sense to me. And on top of that, this gameplay is a little bit repetitive. I don't think it's bad whatsoever. I actually think this is the best modern engine Halo has ever ran on. But back to the story, it is a little stale just because I don't really care about any of the new characters. And then Cortana dying for like the 4th fucking time is just stupid. But I want to spend the majority of Halo Infinite talking about the multiplayer. This game had a beta, and I really dig the...
Good, I'll say, Halo Infinite has been the best multiplayer, and we'll say like 10 years. In like 10 years, this has been the best. Wait, what was I put this? 2026. Halo 3 came out in 2027. The best Halo campaign in like 8 years. It's the best. Scratch that. It's been the best Halo multiplayer in like 8 years.
Beta, and I was super excited for when the game came out. And then the game came out, and it was just the beta all over again. This game launched with no fucking content. It had like two big team maps and 2 or 3 other playlists, which I don't know if you remember, but that's kind of like Halo's jam, is having a shit ton of variety in the multiplayer when it comes to playlists and game modes and team sizes and custom games. And if those things weren't bad enough, this game didn't even launch with Forge or co-op campaign or split screen. However, the gameplay itself was a ton of fun. Guns felt very balanced. The new armor abilities had just the right amount of versatility. There's no creative class whatsoever. It truly felt like Halo was back, but it was just missing the canvas to play on. However, when I loaded this game up for this video, I was overwhelmed with how much they turned this game around. Playlists, and even more playlists.
I got the Onyx, and I was like, I'm good.
And now Forge is here with the most customization it has ever had, hence why all the custom games in Infinite go stupid. It's hard to judge this game because it really did launch in a terrible state and followed the trend of unfinished game at launch and then finished game a year or 2 later. And I think a lot of people, myself included, saw this game as just completely written off at launch, and I was never going to come back to it. And I think a lot of that has to do with this game going free to play. I think it just launched in an unfinished state because they can use the whole free to play model to give it live service updates, which just is not fun. I want to be harsh on this game, but I can't deny that I really enjoyed playing this game for this video in the current state that it's in, and it is definitely one of the greats. This is the best engine Halo's ever ran on, aside from like maybe Halo 3, and it kind of feels like Halo Reach in that regard, where it's just the right amount of innovation without being too much. Although the campaign is not my favorite, it's still way better than Halo 4 and Halo 5, and that is a huge step forward for 343, and this is probably going to be the most controversial ranking for the entire video. I'm giving it an A tier. If that didn't piss you off enough, take one last look at the entire...
Okay, Halo 3 S tier, check. I think for S's, you can only have... This is where we're getting personal. You ready? Let me go over here. Okay. Halo 3 S tier plus. I'm okay with that. S, Halo 2. A, we go Reach. B, we go Halo C, Halo Infinite, just because of the multiplayer. C, we go ODST. D, we put the Wars. And I guess that one Spartan game. And then F, you throw the rest of them down here. Unfortunately, it was just 3 maps, and you couldn't queue up for just Slayer. That is true. Reach at A, B, but I think you put Infinite and Combat Evolved in B. Okay, for the rest of mankind, you cannot put CE below. You can't put C or below, and you can't put S or A or above. What CE did for history, you just have to put it B, and you just have to leave it B. Just what that game did for the world. So you put it B, you leave it B. All right, so that one's stuck at B tier. Always will be. It can never move. It just has to stay in B tier. And that's we're talking like video games 2003 and below, then it's S+. But for today, Halo C will always be B tier. And I think it's why you throw ODST there, because it's like a little add-on kind of thing, but it was fun, it was modern. But I think you do that B tier. I think you move Infinite. Yeah, move Infinite B tier, move Reach A tier. Keep CE, Infinite, and ODST here. Well, no, move Infinite C tier, and then the rest of them down here. If you only keep one, you know it would be 2. Well, if it was my list, as I've done a list before, Halo 2 is the best game of all time, in my opinion. Is it the best Halo of all time? Is it the best game of all time? Probably not. But if someone goes, hey, who's your GOAT? Halo 2 is my GOAT. So if it's my list, Halo 2 is going S+ all day. But if we're just going ranking, let's rank Halo games the best possible. Halo 2 should belong in S, and Halo 3 should be S+. But I think him having this S+ is kind of bullshit. I think he's bagging out here. I think you should go complete the objective. Complete the objective. S, Halo 3. A, Halo 2. B, you go Halo Reach and CE. C tier, ODST, Infinite. D tier, who gives a fuck about D and F? The rest of the games can go die somewhere, and you can just leave them. But that's how it should be. That's how it should be. I understand Halo 2 is my favorite of all time. That's just little Cade talking. That's little baby Cade talking. Is it the best Halo of all time? Absolutely not. It's not. And I'm okay with that. But if you see me on the street and you go, hey man, what's your favorite game of all time? Halo 2. Hey man, what's the best Halo of all time? Halo 3. It is what it is. What are you gonna do? But yeah, S+, that's a little bullshit move there. Having S+, that's bullshit. I gotta agree, Reach was alright, but it was such a letdown from 3. Reach was good, but like, I think here's the thing. If Reach and Halo 3, if you swap the release,
because this is what we're.
If you swap the release dates, I think Halo Reach would take the place of 3. I think if Halo Reach came out and Halo 3 came out, I think it was just all timing. If Halo Reach came out and then Halo 3, we'd be having the same conversation. You know what I mean? I think it was just like, that's when gaming was like this, right? Imagine, let me go here. Let me go here. Brushes. Brush. Let's go. All right. How big is this? I'm a little bigger than that. I can just zoom in. Okay. So right here, we'll go CE. And then it did check it. And it did this. It did just like that. And around like right in the middle. Like if we do this. right here, because you gotta imagine like other games are coming out, there are games getting released, gaming was really picking up, and I think right here is Halo 2. Halo 2 is the Rising, for you kids that don't know, Rising Action. Okay, that's the Rising Action, and I think right here was Halo 3. Some would say that's the climax. And then right here was Reach. That's what they call falling resolution. I think if you flip these two, it'd be the same argument. I just think Halo and like gaming and all that. We go down here, blah 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 blah, and we go on about days, and it goes right back up, and right here, Fortnite. That was good. But
we're working with. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Please go ahead and let me know down below. I have no idea what other Halo games are planned in the future, but I hope they at least just release in a finished state with everything that Halo Infinite has now, just not 2 years later. But go ahead and check out some of my other videos. If you want to see me play and rank every Lord of the Rings game or every Far Cry game, click on screen now. And if you liked, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And thank
no, the campaign was so much better in 3, to be honest. It was, but I think it was just I think it was just the state of gaming at the time. I think it was. Far Cry? Fun fact, the only Far Cry I've ever played was... Does he have it on here? No, he doesn't. Where me go? Here. Which I don't even remember which one it was. I got it for free. Far Cry Primal. Still never played and I never finished it because I got sick of it.
you so much for watching.
But yeah, I mean, Halo Reach was good. It was. How about this? If Halo would have stopped at Reach, I think we'd be having. I think Halo, if it had stopped at Reach, Bungie would be up there for the greatest video game campaigns of all time. But the fact that they didn't, I think, was a shame. They stopped caring after that. Well, I think after Reach. Hold on. Let me ask my boy. What was the... Actually, oh, fuck all that. No, give me the little thing. Where's the little ball? What was the last Halo released by Bungie? Halo Reach. ODST Reach, and then Halo 4. Yeah, so I think if Halo would have died at Bungie, would be like greatest greatest game series of all time. But the fact that they didn't, I think 343 tainted the series. I think 343 fucked the series up. I think they did. But then also, arguably, the fact that they've kept Halo going for so long, some would argue that it potentially has kept the old Halos relevant, if you know what I mean. I mean, think about it. What is one of the FPS goats of all time? GoldenEye. How many times have people queued up to play GoldenEye? I never have. I know it's one of the best FPSs of all time. I've never played it. So, I mean, I think the fact that they've kept Halo going so long potentially has kept it relevant. Then they just made Destiny and found an infinite money glitch. True. See, and that's another thing. I will never pay to play a game where I have to continuously keep paying for it. WoW, I won't do it. Destiny, I won't do it. Games that involve, they're like, oh, new expansion, guys, you gotta pay $40 to play it this quarter. I won't do it. No. Fuck you. No. I'm not doing that. It's wrong. That is the only reason I won't play WoW. Because if I get a game, I want to play the game. Now, if you say, hey, get this game, pay $70, and we'll keep uploading it. All right, okay, I can chill with that. But at the same time, I get it. You know, it's like a new campaign. I get it. But just for me personally, I just cannot. I can't bite. You know what I mean? I would love to get into WoW. GoldenEye, but it's actually unfun to play with the control scheme they have. But as someone who's never played it, I know that it's one of the best games of all time. It's one of the SPF. It goes up there with Halo C. It's retrospective. That's probably true. Look at this. We got on a rant. We got on a freaking rant. What else are we gonna watch? I didn't plan on. Actually, you know what's crazy? I was laying in bed and I turned the TV and Grace was like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "Well, I was just gonna watch YouTube because I've been at an online course all this week, and so I haven't gone to work. I've just been here. But I've sat at this computer for like hours at a time, and I was like, well, I don't really want to sit at the computer. But then I was like, I kind of want to play. I kind of want to watch YouTube. I was like, I can stream YouTube. So here we are. What is this?
Oh, purple. Oh my God. PSA 10 Jordan.
No, that's sick.
Halo used to have.
It is a GOAT, don't get me wrong, but not able to aim is rough. It is now. But at the time, you know what I mean? You thought it was
over
shit.
a million players online at the same time, yet almost 20 years later, and its recent installment struggles to reach the thousands. Things have gotten so bad, the developers in charge went and changed their name. However, there may be a way to come back from all this with just 3 simple steps. But before that, how did we get to this point? Halo first launched in 2001 with Combat Evolved, where it revolutionized console gaming. This game was... let's give gamers what they had, but once again, this revolutionized the entire gaming landscape. This was the reason people had an Xbox, and more importantly, Xbox Live. For the first time ever in Halo, you could join up matchmaking and play against strangers from across the globe. Try and rank up alongside your friends with the new ranking system, 1 to 50. Again, Bungie had a hit. These games they were releasing, they were breaking records each time. So what better way to follow up Halo 2 than by following the same exact formula and innovating on ways that made the game better.
All it took was one person to get the job, and you could. Not yet. I've never played, so
Halo 3.
I don't know anything about GoldenEye. I just know it's one of the
You
greatest.
experienced
It's one of the
Halo
guys,
3.
one of the OGs.
It launched with 5 different modes, tons of different playlists, and of course taking Halo 2's 1 to 50 ranking system that people loved and made it better. Their time with Halo was coming to an end though, and they wanted to move on to different projects. However, they had to fulfill their deal with Microsoft and put out 2 more games. First was Halo 3 ODST. It was an extension of Halo 3 that brought an incredible campaign and
ODST
new
was
mode
good.
called Firefight. Then Halo Reach. But Reach, it was different, and it's where many people say the beginning of the downfall happened with Halo. It was a class-based system with options of sprint, jetpack, decoy, active camo, and what was most hated, armor lock. While these features didn't necessarily land too well, the game still felt like Halo. The progression system, it was for some reason also different. Gone was 1 to 50, and in place was a credit system where you earn credits for playing and can purchase armor with those credits. Regardless, looking back on Reach, nowadays it's considered a classic. So, if Bungie's different Halo game was still loved by fans, why aren't 343's? Well, let's break down the beginning and potential end of 343. Why is 343 so hated? 343 Industries was founded in 2007 by Microsoft as an internal studio to manage the Halo franchise following Bungie's departure. Microsoft realized the huge value in the Halo IP. They knew this fanbase had been dedicated to our guy Chief for over a decade, and who better than 343? A company named in reference to 343 Guilty Spark, a character who betrays Master Chief in the trilogy. There was one issue though, Bungie didn't leave them much to work with. 343 had to rebuild all of their internal tools from scratch, meaning they had to recreate things like AI behavior, physics, and multiplayer systems all leading up to their first mainline game. It sounds overwhelming, so they started off small. The first project they released was an anniversary edition of Halo Combat Evolved, the game that kickstarted our love for this series. It had updated graphics, Xbox Live co-op, and even some teases for Halo 4. Yet despite this game seeming to be an easy slam dunk, it got mixed reviews from the fans. They didn't give it any multiplayer that was missing from the original, and the campaign's overhauled graphics were either hit or miss. Music and sound effects were also remastered, which just didn't live up to the classic game. Regardless, we cut them a break because
I'll be honest with you. I think the worst thing a company. Wait, let's say, okay. 343 walks in and goes, all right, we're going to do Halo, but we're going to give them. Let's start it off. Let's get on the fans' good side, right? Which I agree. That's awesome. Good idea. Why would you remaster a game? Why would you go and remaster? Because no matter what you do, it will never be the same. Why?
it's all about what they're going to show us they're capable of in their first big project, Halo 4.
Awful. Awful game.
Yet for some, it was their last project, as this game turned a lot of classic fans away from the series they held so close to their heart. When we spoke about Bungie, they followed the same format for each game. It was a recipe, and a recipe that people had been coming back for years. However, now, they ordered the same thing, but it was entirely different. The graphics were overhauled with Chief wearing new armor, the environments were different, hell, the entire campaign was different. Chief was more so silent in the original games. He had spoken very few words, which meant they carried more weight as he'd fight on through the Covenant. But in Halo 4, Chief had quite a bit of dialogue and a deeper emotional arc with Cortana, all while he fought the Prometheans. Gone were the Covenant, and instead this new and annoying to fight enemies. The campaign had mixed reviews to say the least, but okay, that's fine. The majority of people who spent years on Halo spent that in multiplayer. That's what gets us to keep coming back, but not this one. You see, in the original games, everyone loved it because the matches were fair. Everyone started off the game with the same exact weapons and loadout. You fought each other to get power weapons and gain map control. But not in Halo 4. For the first time ever, 343 introduced us to classes.
A new
now
series
you can make your loadout
universe.
whatever you want. In Reach, Sprint was an ability just like Armor Lock and the Jetpack.
That's
you
true.
couldn't have both. Yet in Halo 4, Sprint was
Anyone
the
else?
new feature
Has there been
enabled
another
by
game
default.
company do that?
Additionally, in your loadout, you could select an armor ability. If you didn't like your loadout, don't worry, you could call in an ordnance drop.
Has there been another company do that?
Request confirmed.
Okay. I'm sick of that.
Welcome to the next.
Far Cry. He almost has 1 million views on that one. Attaboy. Attaboy. Oh, he's been doing this for 3 months. Jesus. COD channel. Oh, he's been doing this for like 3 years. He just plays COD. Attaboy. Actually, never played Far Cry.
I firmly believe that Far Cry
Other games have done that. Yeah, I mean, the fact that 343 thought they could just jump in and be like, pretty great, huh? Apex, true, Titanfall. You're right.
3 is one of the greatest video games of all time. However,
I've only
I'd
played
never
Far Cry
played a
Primal. I've
single
never
other
played a
Far
Far
Cry
Cry.
game until now. Today, I want you to join me as I play and rank every single Far Cry game out there, from where it all began to the polarizing newer installments and even some unorthodox spin-offs as
Michael,
well.
how many
I'll be
Far
crowning
Crys you
one
played?
game as the best in the series with the S+ ranking and one as the worst in the series with the F ranking. But go ahead and let me know your favorite and least favorite Far Cry games down below as we get started.
Far Cry.
Far Cry 1 was developed by Crytek instead of Ubisoft, and it shows. And I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, this game is just way different than any modern title. For starters, it is an extremely linear experience. Sure, the levels are a little more open worldish, but you're definitely playing in a secluded area that's sort of on rails. But that doesn't stop the game from giving you boats, cars, and even hang gliders to traverse the levels. With this, the gameplay is actually fairly immersive for being a game made in 2004. Wait, this sounds like SpongeBob's door. It takes place on a tropical island, sort of similar to the Far Cry 3 experience that I'm used to. And you play as Jack Carver, who's ex-Special Forces, transporting a journalist who's then attacked and separated from each other, to which you end up on said island. You pick up a mysterious phone and meet Hoyt, who's your guy in the chair, and instructs you on how to live as you discover more of what's going on the island. And in turn, how to defeat Dr. Krieger, who's the antagonist of this game. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed this story. I know it is completely dated, like it has that 80s action hero vibe, and the voice acting is pretty hilarious at times.
Who are you? I'm the guy who's going to tell you how to survive.
I mean, to be honest, fun fact, and no one can judge me for this, I've actually never played a GTA in my life either.
Call me Doyle.
How do I know I can trust you?
And then about halfway through, seemingly out of nowhere, actually the game takes this huge like sci-fi twist. And I actually really like this, and it works pretty well for Far Cry because that's like the whole genre of the game is like, you know, like what on earth is going on, and this is exactly what that is. The Crytek engine, which is actually the same engine that Crysis ran off, reminds me of the Source engine from Half-Life and, you know, like all the Valve games. And this game also just in general reminds me of Half-Life, especially with the sci-fi stuff. It is like very Half-Life-y. The sci-fi twist is that Dr. Krieger is actually cooking up like these humanoid mutants called Trigens. So you're actually fighting like pretty much like the equivalent of like aliens in this game, which again, you don't really see that in other Far Cry games. And in a really weird way, I feel like this game sort of like inspired Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, just because one of that 80s action hero vibe, and two, it's also got like some sci-fi going on. But if I want to make one thing clear about this game, is that this game is so hard. Like not even Dark Souls hard. This is like so hard it's not even remotely fun and extremely frustrating. Enemies have aimbot. Like the little stealth that's in this game just doesn't exist. Like when you alert one guard, you alert like the whole entire lobby. What the like what am I supposed to do there?
Honestly, I love the GTA games. I've never played them growing up. I just never, like, crazy statement. You ready? You ready? Get in your seat for this one. The first game I played online, like on a Wi-Fi server by myself, Modern Warfare 2019. Yeah. It was the first like live game I've ever played, like on my own console.
And enemies just like shoot you through walls even without being detected. Like
crazy,
it must be like the AI thing, but like it is so unbelievably frustrating.
Really think about it.
Frustrating enough to where I had to play the majority of this game on God mode despite playing on the easy difficulty. And I'm not exaggerating here. Like there's just one mission where I had God mode on the entire time and I was supposed to die like 90 times. Like that's the amount of damage I took because of how unforgiving this AI is. And also maybe it's me just being stuck in the future, but like this game is extremely slow. And I don't mean that like in the pacing or the story. I mean like the genuine like speed of Jack Carver, especially when you're in water, is insanely slow. And look, I know this game is over 20 years old. For the time, it was probably really good. I could see why a lot of people would like this game, but going back and playing it just didn't age well. This is a C tier.
One for two OG. You're an OG.
In our opinion, no matter where you go or what.
Like, I mean, the big issue was we couldn't get Wi-Fi growing up where I lived. And then if I did play online, I'd have to play it like at a friend's house. Like I got to a friend's house. There's one game I remember we played online. I played the game for like 12 hours straight. Game. I played this game for like 12 hours straight one night. Let me find it. Is this it? Oh yeah, this is it. A Nation Divided. Hold on. This game. This is like my first online experience. I lost my junior year in high school to Modern Warfare 2. Some would say it's not a bad thing. This is my first like Yep. Yep.
Microsoft wanted to cash in on some of the console revenue lurking around the Xbox, and thus Far Cry Instincts was born. Loosely based off of the original story, but more so a reimagining of said story. Every character gets a new voice actor, and the events of the first game never occurred, essentially, but this game basically is the first game.
Yeah. Let me break this down. Senior year of high school, COVID hit. Really, okay, how about it? Late junior year hit. And so we're like, fuck. And so a lot of my time was inside doing classes because we got to do online classes. I did. I passed every class with an A. Hey, make this straight. I was like an A, B student, the occasional C. Right? I take a class, get the occasional C, right? Not a genius, but I'm street smart. You tell me to study the periodic table. Huh, this is super bright.
Over again, but
you tell me to study the periodic table. I may not get it. You tell me learn the anatomy of the human body. I'm not your guy. You tell me like, hey, go sling an 8-ball. Done. We digress. COVID hit. Where I'm from, we didn't wear masks. 1. 2. COVID hit. So we just went and partied around like farms. We just did bonfires at people's farms. And we played video games. And that was like the first time I had like Wi-Fi access. So it was like 2019 Modern Warfare. I remember it was like, what are you doing? It's like, well, I can't go out till tonight, obviously, but
just worse. To start with, the controls on this game are abysmal. The aim assist like doesn't really work, and since this is a console game, I'm not playing this on mouse and keyboard. It's all controller.
Oh,
dude. And on top of the aim assist, like there's an insane input delay. I don't know. It's because I was playing like the Predator edition, which is like the 360 version. That's both the games, which we'll get to in a second. But I had a crazy input delay. Like even just simple tasks like pausing the game felt like clunky. And the difficulty's still there. It's not as hard as the first one, but since the controls are terrible, it might as well be. Where this game changes a lot from the first one is instead of just like, you know, killing Dr. Krieger and liberating the island from all the Trigens, you actually get ingested with some of that Trigen sauce and have these mutant abilities. You have an increased melee lunge, a super jump, and like super speed, and I think you have like a Predator vision as well. It's pretty cool, I'll be honest. I did like this. But I will say the time you actually get to like use these abilities is very limited because like how you replenish it, the item you use for that is extremely rare. So I just found myself usually just using the lunge out of all these because it was a one-hit kill, so I guess that was nice. But other than that, like you barely get to use the other abilities. And like I said with Far Cry 1, the level design is pretty A to B, and that's the similar concept here, but it's even more lazy on this one.
I think the first game I ever played actually was
like a canyon, and you're just like moving through it until the end. There's rarely ever an objective. It's really just kill everything and get to the end, like just like any other like
and then Spyro
platformer, I guess. Also, when an alarm goes off once you get these powers, there's like an extreme ringing in your ear that is extremely annoying, and that certainly was not helping me enjoy this game.
I have visual contact. Ah, shit! Turn that fucking thing off!
But on the contrary, this game did offer the first ever like accessible level editor in a Far Cry game, and on a console, I mean, that's pretty impressive, so I'll definitely give them props for that. But that definitely does not safeguard this game from the criticism that it deserves, because it's still just a total mess. And similar to Far Cry 1, I can see why people would like this game, especially if you had an Xbox and didn't have a PC but wanted to play Far Cry. I'm sure this was an awesome time as a child, but not good enough of a time to age well or give it anything better than a D tier.
Hold on. I couldn't tell you my first game. Yeah, mine was Spyro PS1. Yeah, it was this one. I remember this. Played the fuck out of that because my older brother, we're some years apart, and so when he left the house, and he was like working or whatever. It's pretty much I just got these hand downs, and I got his PS. Me and my younger brother got the hand me down from my older brother that went to my older sister that went to us too. And we got to play Spyro and then Crash Bandicoot PS1 racing game. It was a racing game. Racing. This one, Crash Bandicoot Racing. Yeah, CTR, Crash Team Racing. This is what it was. Yeah, these are my first two games. Oh fuck. My dad's a gamer, so they were. Yeah, I mean these were the only two games we had with Spyro in this game, which I was the older brother that used to just talk so much shit, dude. Oh my god, I was talking so much shit to mom. You better hope I didn't have that TNT in my pocket, dude. I was going to fuck you up. Him especially. I would do that thing where like we'd be racing, right? We're racing. And I'd reach over and I'd smack his controller out of his hand. And he would get so fucking mad. Oh, the missile's goated. The electric ball you shoot it and it's like, yeah. I'll grab my Zens. Hold on. Run away, lady. Run away. Run away. No food the rest of the night. Yeah, I got playing with lady and I'm out of breath.
Some people must have really liked Far Cry Instincts because it got a sequel. Enter Far Cry Instincts Evolution. By the way, I want to make it clear that I played both these games on Far Cry Instincts Predator, which is the 360 version that's both games in one. So I'm just going to go ahead and clarify that.
Sisters,
I don't think there's much difference between the games, but just throwing that out there. Following the events of Instincts, Jack Carver is seen on vacation where he lets the hormones get the best of him and is tied up in an arms deal.
They couldn't hold you down.
I don't know
You
what
know what I
happened
mean?
between
They could
Instincts and
3v1
Instincts
you today,
Evolution to where
tomorrow.
Jack Carver just
10
got like
years
the
ago.
007 level of like, I need to get some pussy because he is just like so chronically horny in this game, and it's kind of funny, honestly.
Honey, I'll drive whatever you want.
Get ready to rise with more shine. Discover the Sealy Posturepedic collection at Ashland.
Damn.
I need help with something.
Something dirty?
Are you complaining?
Well, not if we can go again.
But Jack embarks on a similar story that involves using his predator powers to take down Samiru, who also has predator powers. From what I can tell, Instinct's Evolution is the exact same engine that Instincts ran on. Same guns, same enemies, like everything about it is just the exact same. The only main differences I can think of is that 1, you start with the predator powers, which it was actually really nice. And 2, you get to actually use those predator powers way more often because there's these like little flowers scattered around each level that give you back up to 100. And 3, the level design is way more in depth in this game. You actually have like levels where you need to like go to multiple locations, like the first level. Like the first level where you have to go to 3 separate islands and like blow things up and then like go to the end of the mission, whereas before it was just go to A to B. There's still a lot of those go to A to B levels in this game, but not near as much as it was in Instincts. Also, this game is much shorter, which I actually like that. Instincts was a little bit too long for how boring of a game it was, but Instincts Evolution is like just the right amount. I actually beat this game in one sitting. It was pretty simple, and like, again, it wasn't much better than Instincts, but definitely better enough to like make me not hate playing this game. I do think it's the better version, although the reviews seem pretty polarized.
Smash was the first game that I got good at. I was a Mario.
To me. But regardless, I still would not go back and play this game. It is a C tier. Far Cry Vengeance was a remake or yet another reimagining of Far Cry Instinct's Evolution, but this time being exclusive to the Wii. That's right, a spin-off of a spin-off that's a reimagining of a sequel. And if that wasn't confusing enough, this game is also like different enough from Evolution to where, I mean, it's still definitely the exact same game. But
2K14 is the first game that I got like
and there's
good
a couple
at.
of different like new characters and characters not in the game. I don't know why they did this. And like
NBA
Jack is a little
2K14,
less
I was
fun,
a
like you don't get to
dog,
see him like posted up with Cade in the bed.
So
but
nasty.
probably the biggest difference about this game is the motion.
I'd make my brother play with me, right? I'd be like, he'd be like, I want to play Black Ops 2. And I'm like, well, I want to play 2K. I was like, how about this? We played 3 games of 2K, we played 3 games of Black Ops. But you can only play as the Heat. And so he knew.
Controls. That's right. This was during the era of the Wii where like every single developer wanted to make a game like based off of motion controls, and first-person shooters were the genres that were hated the most by these
he knew
kind of
the
motion
Heat
controls.
what really
he
had
sucked about these motion
Braun,
controls were even like the
Wade
most
Bosch.
basic actions were bound to motion controls.
And then I just
Jumping was
plays
with the nunchuck, and like
like
healing yourself was with the Wii
Rockets
remote,
with,
and then even aiming
Jason
down
Harden, or
sights
the-
was like
the Thunder with
jabbing
Kevin
the Wii
Durant,
remote
Russell Westbrook.
forward, which was just so
or
annoying.
the Thunder plays Jeremy Lamb.
No fucking way. Everything about this was horrible. Like I said, this is a copy-paste of
I'd fuck him
Evolution with
up.
not enough differences to make it its own game. I mean, like, the Predator abilities kind of function differently, and that's, like, really about it as far as gameplay goes.
2K14s
I don't even know if
were,
the people responsible
like,
for the
my
port just,
friends-
like, forgot to add music to the game, but there are parts where there's literally just no sound or audio whatsoever. And honestly feels
Well,
like
the thing
you're
with
playing, like,
sports
a
games
backward
for me, the reason I'm decent at them now.
But you can probably gather that this is a much lesser
Yeah, I got
experience
the
of Far
burps.
Cry
I keep
6 Evolution.
drinking
And
IPAs
since
and
I wasn't really
and a
crazy
seltzer
on that
water.
game to begin with, like, this game was
Oh,
really
thanks for the
bad.
follow.
And once I was like an
Fitness
hour in and I
chicken
realized this was a
or-
copy-paste experience, which I didn't know about
The
that
reason
until
I was good
started
at sports
playing it.
games
I
was
actually didn't
because
finish
I
this
would,
game, but I played enough to know that
because
this is
at the
an
time,
experience
again, I
and the
didn't have
worst Far Cry
Wi-Fi,
game out there.
so I could play sports games. And I could do like the Dynasty. I could do like the My Player mode. So I could do those things. So I'd play them a lot because there's a lot more options for me. Like understand, I never played Black Ops 2 multiplayer except when I'm at my friend's house. I would have to play it like while I'm at my friend's house, and if I played it at home, it'd be 1v1. Never forget Durant for leaving.
For starters, what you're actively doing has nothing
kinda
to
crazy,
do with
honestly.
the Jackal. You're just like essentially the game basically revolves around earning brownie points for each side, so you can like get
Fitness chicken
intel.
port's
And then the
crazy.
level
What
design is
sports did you
also
play
very
IRL?
stale. It's basically one of two things:
Here,
go
you
to
know what I
this
should do?
location, blow something up, or go to this location and kill someone. I really wish that was an exaggeration, but it really isn't. But the rewards for completing
IRL?
missions and side missions is you get blood diamonds, which is this game's
Growing up,
currency,
I
and they're used for
played-
buying and upgrading
my
your guns.
dad
And there's like a lot of guns
ended up
to
being
choose
like a
from, so I
minor
will
league
give
baseball
props to
player.
that.
So
And the gunplay
he had
is
me in
also
baseball
very
super early.
realistic with like lower
And then
tier
when I was around,
guns
like,
jamming
10,
frequently, the more you use
I was like
them,
10.
and then, like higher tier guns.
So baseball,
obviously
I'd
not
play
doing
spring
that.
ball
While
and I'd
on
play
that
fall
topic,
ball.
we
So
go
it was
ahead and
like
talk about all the
from
attention to detail this game has, and there is a lot.
from
to it. For
T-ball
crying out loud,
all the way
this
up till I
was
was
the
10
first
years
game that
old. It
had,
was
like,
baseball
those
2 times a
disgusting
year,
and
constantly
brutal
going.
healing animations. But Crowcraft
And
made a
then
really good video
my friends started playing
showcasing how
basketball,
much
so I
more
started playing
realism
basketball
there is
around
in Far Cry 2
10,
versus the
12.
newer games, and it's really
Started playing
impressive to see how
basketball.
much thought and
And
effort
then
was put
started
into
playing
this game,
that.
especially for coming out in 2008. Like the whole like fire
And then when I was
mechanics and
around
physics could like you can start like full
7th,
blown forest fires,
6th
which
grade,
is really neat. But
I
back to the
played
bad,
tennis,
since
and I
this was
fell
the
in
first
love
like
with it. So I
open
played
world Far
tennis all
Cry
the way
game,
through
that
high
means like a
school.
lot of driving and just
Around
traveling
when I
in
was
general.
15,
And when you're driving
I
around,
quit
since
playing.
there's 2 enemy factions that
No,
are
when I
trying
was
to
around,
kill you, but you're also working for it.
when I was around like 13, I
every
quit playing
single
baseball,
trip, whether
and
it
I'd
be
play
part
like
of a mission
rec
or
league
just
with my friends.
cruising the open world,
So I
results
played
in
with my
just getting
friends just
targeted by these
for
factions.
fun.
And even if you drive
but
past them,
I
they're
was
gonna
like
somehow
grinding
catch up
tennis.
to you and destroy
Got
your
to
car.
college
You're
for
gonna get
tennis.
out, waste ammo to kill them.
Got
and
to
then take
Belmont
their
Abbey.
car, and
It's a
then it's just
D2
gonna happen
school in
again
North
3 minutes
Carolina.
later.
Played
It
there.
is frustrating. The AI in this game
Had some
is
financial
unforgiving.
issues,
They're
and then
always
ended up
gonna
going
be around
JUCO.
at any corner, and they just never stop targeting
Had
you.
issues
And
there
since, you know, again, Far
with the
Cry's supposed to be a
finances.
stealth game, that is just not an option.
And then
in this
ended
game
up
either. So it's already
just
completing,
not
like,
playing
a
in
dual
general.
mission to begin with,
And around
and
that
then
same
having this
time,
mechanic just like sprinkled throughout is just not fun.
I played.
Also,
Then,
there's the buddy
then
system,
around
which
that time,
lets
I
you
also
have,
picked
like,
up golf.
alternate
So
approaches to some missions, which adds like
then
20 or even like 30 minutes.
5
I
years
swear,
ago,
to
or
these
3
missions
years
that
ago,
are
my friends
already
like, let's play
really long,
pickleball.
and there's
And I
like
absolutely
little to
waxed
no
my
reward for doing so. So I just did
First
like
thing you did, and you
a
woke
vanilla
up today?
playthrough, if you will. And if these things weren't annoying enough, there's
Posted
also a
all my
malaria
posts.
mechanic built into the game where you have to take your malaria pills or else you'll just die and get sick. And it is just another thing that's just really
all my
annoying.
posts?
I know for people who really like immersion in their games, this is probably tickling that it's really hard. But
yeah.
when you're just trying to go from A to B,
Collegiate
no matter
athlete.
what it is, if it's in a
Bet y'all
mission
didn't
or
know
just
that.
like traversing the world, and you have a bunch of AI and then sprinkling that malaria mechanic, like it is so annoying. Also, I don't know if I was doing something wrong. Apparently PC version of this game has a quick save, but I didn't figure out how to do that. And one time I died and I literally lost, it was like 45 minutes. It was maybe like an hour of gameplay that I just completely lost just from one death. So that was really annoying too.
Fizz eyes. Orlando Magic.
Are you fucking kidding me? Regardless, I do appreciate what Far Cry did for the franchise, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people's #1 Far Cry game, but for someone who's never played it like when it came out and went back to playing it now, it did not age well. This is also a C tier game.
Okay, Far Cry 3. Lock in points.
Switch to TurboTax.
No free ads over here. None. No free ads. No free ads. Little Warhammer.
S+ tier. Totally joking, but as I opened this video, I said that Far Cry 3 is one of the greatest video games I have ever played, and I still stand by that when replaying it for this video. I think this is easily the best setting for a Far Cry game, not necessarily the island vibe, even though that obviously does fit the theme very well, but more so that like a vacation with all your friends as like, you know, this rich privileged kid, and then having to just get your whole world turned upside down, like, you know, watching your brother die and then just being like, all right, fend for yourself, go save your friends. Like, that's a pretty cool setting. But Jason Brody's the best protagonist, Voss is the best antagonist, and the Rakia are the best, like, rebel group as well. So, I mean, the stars really just aligned for this to be a kick-ass story, and that's what we got. Far Cry 3 took the concept of Far Cry 2 and improved upon it in every single way. The tattoo system was my favorite addition. Looking at things you didn't have unlocked to see a preview video of what said skill point would do for you incentivized you to keep grinding to get that new unlock. And since the later stages of this game are pretty hard, you're gonna have to use all your new abilities in tangent with each other to not only beat the game, but also put a little flair into your gameplay. Seriously, there is an entire subsection of like the Far Cry fan base that just does like these trick shots when it comes to like liberating outposts, and it is insane. The liberating of outposts and destruction of radio towers was designed between the perfect blend of not too tedious but rewarding enough that you're not only going to want to do each and every one of them, since this is how you unlock not only new weapons but side quests as well. Then the hunting in this game was another key new element, directly incentivizing the player to track down each animal required to craft whatever item you're trying to upgrade, carrying more primary weapons, a larger backpack, more throwables, and so on. Then you got to the final tier of the upgrade where you had to do like the side quest for said animal that's like the rare animal, you know, like the white alligator or whatever it may be. And that was also pretty fun because like you didn't just have those quests unlocked, you had to do some poking around to get them, and it made you want to go poke around to find those quests, which I think is a perfect way to get a player to play something other than just the main story. Round this game off with the best character transformation that we haven't even come close to in any sequels beyond Far Cry 3, and you have the best Far Cry game in the series, and I think most people would agree with that. Far Cry Blood Dragon
Is
is
the
a
only game
spin-off
you need to
title
play?
that runs off the exact same engine and
so.
foundation as Far Cry 3. Set in the future, you play as Rex, who's a cyber soldier set down to take down Ike. And this takes place on a similar Far Cry 3 map with a cyberpunk makeover. The title introduces new guns and vehicles while also being a stripped-down experience. And I do not mean that necessarily in a bad way. When I mean stripped down, I mean it's just kind of like watered down in almost every way. Since this game's only $15, I'm pretty sure at launch, obviously you can get it for way cheaper now. The game is much shorter. There's also no more skill points. You still level up, but when you level up, you just like unlock new abilities automatically, which honestly I kind of liked in some ways. And the game is also significantly easier, at least in my experience, because you're a literal cyber soldier. But these things are what make this game such a perfect spin-off title. This is like every bit of what a spin-off title should be, unlike something else we're going to talk about later. Basically, this is just more Far Cry 3 with a new coat of paint and a few new changes to the formula. Outposts are replaced with garrisons, which are used to keep the blood dragons at bay. You can sprint and swim insanely fast, and even the story is now told through a comic book-like cutscene. But like I said, Far Cry 1 had that 80s action hero vibe, but this like is 80s action hero. This might as well be an 80s action hero game. It's got plenty of callbacks to like Terminator and RoboCop and stuff. I mean, like the shotgun he has is literally like the Terminator shotgun, which was really cool. The dialogue is super corny and cheesy. The writing is funny. I mean, everything about it is just like stupid in a good way. But the bang for your buck here is unparalleled. $15, it's worth it. But I think you can probably get it on Steam for like $5 right now. And this game is an A tier. To follow up the massive hit of Far Cry 3, we got Far Cry 4, which is set in the fictitious country of Kyrat, which is in the Himalayas. The story follows AJ or Ajay. I swear they say both names in this, AJ or Ajay. Not really sure which one it is. But he visits Kyrat to spread his mother's ashes when, you guessed it, shit hits the fan. And then the game follows AJ as he's just like slowly revealing both of his parents' past in Kyrat, and there's just like a lot of mystery that keeps getting unveiled the more you play the game, which I really like that part about the story. But pretty much everything else about this story, kind of lame. It's not like bad, but just like I didn't really care. Pagan Min is an awesome antagonist, and honestly up there with Voss. I could see why someone might like him more than Voss, which is a really big accomplishment. But then all the side characters, like they're just so boring. Part of these rebel missions, you're supposed to pick whose mission you want to do instead, and I didn't care about either character enough to like give a shit about the morals, so I just picked the one that sounded easier or like more fun, I guess. And look, Far Cry 3 is an amazing game. We just got done glazing over it. And Far Cry 4 honestly just feels like a copy-paste experience, which isn't the worst thing, but you know, you gotta add something new to the table. And a lot of the times Far Cry 4 just doesn't feel like it does. That same core fundamental gameplay loop is there. Towers, outposts, side quests, main quest, maybe a few little new features, which we can go ahead and speed run through those right now. You can now throw bait to summon a predator to do your dirty work. There's a karma system for helping out rebels and doing side quests that help you unlock new guns and abilities. There's more guns. There's a new arena side mode that's basically a gauntlet style gameplay. There's a helicopter paraglider thing, which is actually probably my favorite thing about this game. You also have 4 fortresses on top of outposts that I swear are easier than some of the outposts. The leveling system and skill point system is loosely the same, but one thing I noticed that really bothered me was they removed the video preview of new skills. Was that really all that necessary? I mean, that was like my favorite thing in Far Cry 3 was like, oh shit, this is what that does? Or like, you know, my monkey brain just can't like read things and understand. I like to see it. So it's just like a quality of life thing they removed for no reason. But obviously with the new environment comes new wildlife. You have elephants, badgers, and rhinos are the new ones that come to mind. And then the actual map itself is solid. I do think I prefer the tropical vibe a little bit more. That's just a me thing. I mean, just because this is a winter map does not mean it's bad. And actually you get the wingsuit pretty early on, like as early as you want to buy it. And this map actually in some ways works much better for the wingsuit because it's obviously like very vertical based. But let's get back to the gameplay, which is fine. I don't think anything is upgraded in any way from the first game, but if one thing is definitely different, it's the missions in this game. Holy shit, are they so boring. For example, you do these missions for the Cheech and Chong of this game, and you go to Yodi Land for 5 minutes, which is fine. That's okay if it's like a one-off, you know, you get high with the boys and then do this little like trip sequence, which, you know, Far Cry loves doing that. But there's like 4 of these missions and they're all part of the main story, which just feels really lazy. Then you have the missions where you go fly up into like the summit of the mountain, kill a lieutenant, and be done with it. And there's like 4 of those missions as well that are also part of the main story. Then you have the Blood Diamond missions where you follow somebody into a bunker, get his key, steal a Blood Diamond, and leave. There are also 4 of those, except one's maybe you're in a plane, one you're in a boat, one you're in a car. I mean, it is just like really dull. That right there makes up like half the game, which are just levels that are essentially our side quests. And these missions are fine to exist. I mean, like the side quests on Far Cry 3 aren't anything crazy, but these are passed as like main story quests, which is just levels that are supposed to be more in depth are also really boring. I remember there's one part where you're like jumping out of a plane onto another plane, and I was like, oh, this is sweet. And then it just like goes to a cutscene where you're just like on rails, and I was like, this could have been so cool if I actually got to do this myself. But like I said, Pig and Min did a lot for this game. Maybe he's not so bad after all. And I mean, the best part of the story is Ajay's family, just uncovering his past and his parents. I mean, that was really satisfying. And if you like Far Cry 3, you're gonna like this game, but in a lot of ways, it is just a recycled version. I mean, there is straight up like assets and sound design that is identical to Far Cry 3, but I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it does get a little stale after a while. This game is still good. I recommend you play it. It is a B tier.
This is the one I played. I never finished it though.
Far Cry Primal is yet another spin-off title that takes place in 10,000 BC and follows Takar as he is separated from his tribe and starts over as leader of the Wenja tribe. Far Cry Primal is the biggest change to Far Cry we had ever seen for very obvious reasons, taking on a much more survival crafting approach on the series while still staying relatively true to its roots and the gameplay you're used to in a Far Cry. Outposts are back alongside new bonfires, skill points, XP, side quests, all are here. But there's an emphasis on hunting and crafting, which as I said with Far Cry 3 was like my favorite thing about this game. The wildlife is pretty varied, and since you quite literally start with nothing, you craft every single thing that you will use in this game, and a lot of that stems from hunting. On top of that, part of your skill tree upgrades involve taming beasts that you can not only call into combat but also ride, which is really fun. In Far Cry 4 you could ride elephants, but now you can ride like a saber-toothed tiger, which is sick. And even your binoculars are replaced with an owl, which is giving you a bird's eye view, quite literally, of what you're about to get into, and even he can attack for you, which is really cool. We also have a new mechanic in Primal with the whole village system. As you liberate outposts and do side quests, your village population grows, and with that you get a constant resource flow that you can then put back into your village to get new upgrades. I thought this was pretty cool. I don't think it's ever something I would grind, but you can get like pretty far off in this. The only reason I like did anything for it is because some upgrades were bound to like how good your village was doing. And onto the gameplay, where we have a pretty decent story, all things considered. The whole game is in like this caveman language, which is actually loosely based on a language that was like speculated to be around this time, which is pretty impressive that Ubisoft actually took the time to like loosely translate that. And it's pretty simple. I mean, it's like Takar, good tribe, the other two tribes, bad tribe, and you're just trying to kill them, and well, they're trying to kill you rather. However, where I have my biggest problem with this game is the combat. And I'm not saying, oh, there's no guns in this game, so the combat sucks. It's not like that whatsoever. I'm talking like specifically melee combat. All you have is like a power attack and a normal attack. There's no blocking or parrying or like anything else you can do with that. So it really just turns into like Minecraft, if I'm being honest. You're just kind of like hitting a person over and over again, especially if they're a heavy, just over and over and over and over again, and then kind of like shimmying around them to dodge their attacks. I mean, there's headshots, so I guess that's cool, but I mean, it really was a repetitive combat. The bows and arrows are sick, and like the throwing knives, really cool, but just like, especially when it comes to heavy enemies, you are literally just spamming left click, and it's really dull. You are able to throw your melee weapons, which came very useful when it came to the hunting segments, but since the combat is pretty bad, it does incentivize like using stealth more often, since you can do like a direct takedown on those heavy enemies. I got it for free. Also, as far as I know, this was the first game that allowed you to do a different heal other than the stim shot or like the manual like crack your finger back into place. There's way more options, and you also can actually choose which one is on your quick heal, or you can just like brew up that healing like on the spot too, which is really nice. Far Cry Primal is much different than the traditional Far Cry experience, while still staying familiar to where like you know you're playing a Far Cry game, which I really enjoyed. But the combat just
Gingy.
In today's video, we're going to be opening up one of the rarest and most expensive Pokemon card tins in the world. Oh my God! This is a $2,000 Tepig 2011 Pokemon tin, and we're going to be opening up this in today's video. I mean, these tins are so old that there's literally videos of people opening them up from 10 to 15 years ago. But instead of just jumping right into this insane tin, I'm going to make this a little more interesting. We're going to be starting off with a $20 tin and work our way through to a $30, then a $75, a $500 tin, and then ending it with the $2,000 tin. And on top of that, I'm going to be giving away one Pokérep Crystal Pack number 2. All right, this is the crown jewel of this video. The end. There's also another tin pack tin. Moment of get 2 booster packs in here. A couple of stickers. Yeah, get inside. Let's get it going. Tin 1 is going to be a mini tin, but let's see what we get inside of here. All right, moment of truth. I think this is Paldean Fates. Yeah. Paldean Fates tins, and you're going to get 2 booster packs in here. A couple of stickers as well, but you guys got to let me know which one of these tins you think is going to have the best pulls in today's video. Starting off with our first booster pack. Let's go. All right, I'm excited for this. Anytime we do an opening where we go through sets and we get to like some craziness, it's fun. Charmeleon, Varoom, and a Noivern regular EX. Still technically something, so we're not striking out yet on our first one. Pack 2, and then we're moving on.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story.
On to our next tin of the day. All right. Tonphan. Ooh, we got a shiny, Atticus, and a regular holo. All right, tin 1 does bring us a few hits. All right, next up, we've got our next Koraidon tin. And I think it was released in, it says 2023 on the bottom there, so we'll see if that was when this was released. I genuinely do not remember, but this is giving me Scarlet and Violet base sort of vibes. Hopefully they're not Scarlet and Violet base packs just in here. Hopefully some good stuff, but let's see. All right, we got a Koraidon promo card. We got a code card. Let's see what the pack selection's looking like. There we go. Starting strong with Paldea Evolved. Another Paldea Evolved. All right, we're going Magikarp hunting. Scarlet and Violet base is in here. And then we're going back to the Silver Tempest set from Sword and Shield era. All right, we're already going back to Sword and Shield era days here. Let's start off with Scarlet and Violet base, work into Paldea Evolved. All right. Tin 2. Can we beat Tin 1 here?
I like how
let's see how we do. We got double the amount of packs. Into a Cyclizar. Paldea Evolved. Potential for the Magikarp. Wooper, Pikachu. Spidops. Ooh, Ticket Tough. We got an art rare and a regular holo. So I would say this tin is taking the lead with this pull.
He's got a branded Bills hat on.
And technically, we did have the topper, or like the promo card that came with it. So that too. All right, Squawkabilly. Yeah, definitely tin 2 is taking the lead. And then we're going to end this with a Silver Tempest booster pack. Can this be one of the God packs? Let's see. It is a white code card, but might still be good here. All right, yellow borders threw me off for a second. Jinx. Relicanth, Hawlucha, Rockruff.
Nice.
Nice. We did get something. All right, tin 2, 100% taking the lead here. Now we have a Sword and Shield era pull from Trainer Gallery. But now we're moving in to these tins here. So this is a V Powers tin, I believe it was called. Released in 2020, and you're going to get 4 packs in here. I remember I picked these up from Target. I think it was like a Black Friday. I remember I got them, yeah, probably around 2020, maybe 2021, and they were like $15 or $20 or something like that. These are going for around $75 now. I do not remember what's in here. I want to say there was some Darkness Ablaze, but I don't know.
Charizard.
It might be Evolving Skies, honestly. Let's see. Well, first of all, this is the Eevee version. There's 3 different artworks. Eternatus, and there's a Pikachu one as well. But we get this really nice Eevee V card. This is going to be our best sort of like V/EX card. So, I see Battle Styles. All right. 4 packs, I believe. So we get a Battle Styles, a Vivid Voltage, a Darkness Ablaze, and a Rebel Clash. Dude, this is like the low-tier Sword and Shield. Just like some of the like least popular sets, I feel like. All right. Yeah, so I was wondering, because it's from this era and was like $75 isn't like the worst thing, but now that you see the pack lineup, not the best, right? We got to mime the Trollus in the beginning here. Zubat, Cubone, Claydol. All right, after this tin, we're moving into the
Big Pikachu.
$500 tin. We're moving quick through this. All right, let's go 4 from the back. See if we can get something. I don't know. This is going to be a tough one. Tin 2 might I don't know. It's going to be tough to beat. We need something good. Beedrill. Darkness Ablaze up next. I can't wait to get to the next tin. After this tin, we're in just like crazy territory. I want to know what's in that tag team tin. It's probably craziness. Larvesta. Parasect. All right, and we've got a Rebel Clash.
Can't remember what's in Rebel
3.
Clash.
It's not looking too good at all. It's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad. All right, this is fun, though. We're about to get crazy. Tranquil. Meowth, Surskit, Magikarp. Love that artwork. Magikarp with Pikachu. Look at those cheeks. Into. Oh, striking out on tin 3. Now we are cooking. Look at this thing. This is a Garchomp and Giratina tin from, what did I say, 2019 maybe? 2019. There's a Mewtwo and Mew one as well, Melmetal and Lucario, and then the Garchomp and Giratina. There's 3 different tag team promos, 4 packs, a metal tag team GX marker, and a code card. This is going to be cool.
Ooh, use the marker as a ball marker for golf.
All right, the $500 tin.
$500 for this tin.
This one hurt a little bit to open. This is like a really cool one. Sealed one. They have those really nice tag team cards there. Oh, I see some good stuff. I see good stuff. I definitely see some good stuff. Okay. So we do have this marker badge, which is actually metal. This is actually really nice.
That's sick.
I've got this promo card that we're going to take a look at. Oh my god. Here's a code card. That's probably
Swishy time.
Helps eliminate bad breath for 12 hours.
Go get kissed.
TheraBreath. It's a better mouthwash.
The Tempur-Pedic Breeze.
the grab, and then, oh my god, that looks really clean. That's such a good artwork. This was a promo card. The tag team day. Oh, this card's like beautiful. What? All right.
Top load that mug.
Wow, what a start. Well, I gotta say, just the promo card brings Tin 4 to the lead. And I'm sorry. Promo cards count. Promo cards count. All right, what packs are we gonna have in here? Do I see evolutions back there? All right. We've got a Unified Minds. Another Unified Minds. And Lost Thunder, which is not a tag team set. And an Evolutions. I don't know if it's these or a different version. I know there's another version where you can get tag team or team up packs, and then they reprinted them. I don't know if this is like a reprint version, or I'm not sure, or if this is how it just always was with this, but this is a crazy tin either way. Look at that lineup. All right, let's take a peek real quick. So there's a lot of craziness in these sets. Like, these tag team sets are just wild. I mean, just like, I don't even have to say anything. I'm just there's just the first page. Then booster boxes are pushing like almost $3,000. So this is pretty crazy. Even just open up 2 packs from this set is wild. Let's start off with the Darkrai and Umbreon pack artwork here.
Hey, wait,
this is going to be tough. Pull rates on Sun and Moon stuff, not so great. We could easily just completely lose it all on this, like, very easily. Smash the like button for good luck. Munchlax. Magneton, Yanma. Oh my god, what is this going to be? This is getting crazy risky now. Drillbur. Oh, Medicham, non-hollow. Just a complete loss on that one. It's so risky opening these old sets. Because this is 2019, I believe. Yeah, 2019. Pack 2 of Unified Minds. Come on. Come on. Sun and Moon luck. Sun and Moon luck. We could get something crazy. We could. Relicanth. Come on. Wimpod. Basculin.
Ooh, that's something.
Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. I'll take it. I was hoping it was going to be a Mewtwo. There's so many good rainbows in this set. We could have got a Latias, Dragonite. We could have got Tyranitar, Mewtwo, Psyduck, and Slowpoke. There's so many. Even Heatran's a little more. Oh, there could have been so many other rainbows that we could have got. All right, we'll take the rainbow. This does put Tin 4 in the lead. I mean, these are just easy. That's in the lead. We got 2 more packs. Got a rainbow, though. That's crazy. Like, but, you know, it's like a $10 card, which is just... Anyway, we got Lost Origin next. Lost Thunder next. All right, this set's a little cheaper. We got crazy cards you can get. Lugia, Mimikyu Rainbows, Professor Elms. I love this card. Tyranitar, Suicune. So there's like some solid rainbows in these 2 sets that we're opening up here. Some nice trainer cards, some nice full arts. Even a Lugia GX looks really cool. All right, but we got to deal with this difficult pull rate here. I think boxes of these are under $2,000, so a chunk cheaper, but, you know, it just doesn't make sense. So let's see. Delibird, Scyther, Marill, Onyx, Stunfisk. Oh, we got something. Give me that Lugia. Oh, Virizion GX. How are we getting pulls from Sun and Moon packs? 2 out of 3. Pull rate on these tins is solid today. All right, and we're ending it here with some Evolutions action. As you guys know, Evolutions, you probably know most of the cards in here. A lot of Charizards. These are like $50 a pack now, which is crazy.
Jesus.
Remember when they were like 70 a booster box? 3 from the back. We're in X and Y era on this last pack. And then we're moving in to the finale. Magmar, Voltorb, Tiglet, Caterpie Reverse, Ken Sugimori artwork. I'll take that. Into Eradicate non-holo rare. But tin 5 is where everything changes. This is insane. Like, this is a very, very rare tin. With some... Not only that, though, the other thing is the pack selection in here is incredible. Some of the top-tier sets from these generations. Oh, man. And this is so nice, too. It's, like, perfect. But we're opening it up, because that's what we do. Done. Done deal. I went with the Tepig. I have,
it's like
I have
tempt
all
himself
the
to do that.
starters in this sealed. We're going with the Tepig. Feeling Tepig today. All right. Let's go. We're going to pop the top. And you do get a Tepig promo card. Let's check it out. Pretty cool. It has that black and white era holo pattern. This is sort of during the black and white era, the beginning of the black and white era. It's actually a preview tin, I think, of black and white base. So it's all not black and white sets, though, because this is a preview of black and white. So we're getting stuff before black and white. Strong promo, not as good as the tag team one. But what else are we getting here? It looks like there's like an insert. We have a little insert inside of this thing.
Oh, yeah, baby. Drinks on me.
Oh, Langley.
Black and white version. Wow. Zekrom and Reshiram. 2011 on here. Going back like 15 years ago. 15 years ago. And there it is, the preview pack for black and white, which isn't that crazy, but actually it is pretty cool. I don't know when they started preview packs. But what's really crazy is the next set here. Oh my god, wait, it's different than what I thought it was going to be. This Call of Legends, which is an insane set. It's the only set from this era. It was a Call of Legends era. That was it. Because it's crazy. It's wild. But I didn't know this. I didn't know this was going to happen. But we have another Call of Legends pack in here. 2 Call of Legends booster packs. Just to open 1 is ridiculous. To open 2 is insanity. Like, that is going to be crazy. We got Harkold Soul Silver Triumphant. Absolutely beautiful set from Harkold Soul Silver era. And then from the Platinum era, we have Platinum Supreme Victors, which is another one. You get Level X Charizard, Rayquaza. This is like a top-tier lineup. Like, this is a top-tier lineup of sets. It's crazy good. Still be expensive, but... I think I might just keep this sealed. It's literally just going to be non-holos from Black and White era, so... I don't know where to start with this. End it with Call of Legends. Maybe we'll start with Triumphant. All right. This is the big boy pack. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Triumphant. The big boy tin. Like, just everything is crazy in here. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Triumphant. 2010 16 years ago.
Jesus.
Let's see what we get on our first pack here. I don't know what the pack trick is on this stuff. I might go straight through it. Oh, Swablu on the front. Look at this. Oh, I am just going to thoroughly enjoy all 4 of these booster packs. This is crazy, especially nowadays. It just gets crazier and crazier to open this stuff up. Ghastly, look at that. Come on. Oh, we're going up on. All right, we're on the reverse. Should we go straight through it, or should we pull from the back? I don't know. Should we pull from the back? Nidorino. Magmar.
It's a nice artwork.
We've got Dragonair. And I think our rare is going to be here. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, it is a hollow. Mamoswine. We'll take it. Actually evolved. That's crazy. Wait, did we get the full evolution line? We did. We got the full evolution line. Mamoswine hollow. Wow. I'll take a hollow from Heartgold Soul Silver. A very unlikely evolution line. I don't think I've ever done this before. Definitely haven't. Right here. All right. Next up, we're going to do Platinum Supreme Victors. I think 10-4 is still ahead. But this is a crazy one. Supreme Victors. I mean, we can get shinies from this. We could get secret rare legendary birds like Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno. We get level X Charizard, Rayquaza. Tons of level X's and regular hollows, and just it's a set that has a lot going on. Oh, it's such a good set. All right, here goes nothing. We're gonna go 3 from the back on this one. Whoo! Here we go. Oh my God, Floatzel.
Dragonite.
Look at that. That is so good for a non-hollow. Lopunny. That Dragonite's so good. Like just throw it into Dragonite non-hollow in a common spot. Sure, I'll take that. Beldum. We got a Magikarp. Pachirisu. Chimchar. Reverse Togekiss. Solid. Reverse uncommon. Can we follow it up?
Oh, is that a pull?
Oh my God! Oh my God! We just got a secret rare Zap. Oh my God, from one pack? Dude! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh, dude! 10-5 is the winner, and we're still got 2 packs of Call Legends left. Absolute insane card to pull. Oh, it's definitely not a 10. That's what you got at best. PSA
Damn.
10. That's crazy.
Find a Planet Fitness near you for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Nina just built an app.
Go look at some Call of Legends. So this is like the not just Snorkel. So it's L. I think it's L. Not ever. 2011. Call of Legends in 2026. I think I'm going to go 3 from the back. Hopefully that's right. But yeah, Call of Legends is literally the only set from this era. Riolu. Here we go. Research record. And all of the cards, even the non-hollows, are just crazy. Look at this. Donphan. Coughing. Let's go, baby. Let's get
Nice art.
one of these shiny cards, please. Totodile. Hitmonchan.
It's a nice artwork.
Hitmonlee. Pineco, baby. Reverse Lost World. Come on. If there's any set to hit something, it's got to be Call of Legends. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Hitmontop hollow. We'll take a hollow. Dude, got a hollow. All right, here we go. Last pack. It's going to be Call of Legends round 2. Come on. Give me some from that shiny subset, man. So good. If we can get one of those. Riolu. Darkness Energy. Look at this Pidgeotto. And Pidgey. What? Relican, come on. Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. Snubble. Pampy, are we coming up on the reverse? Oh!
Oh my god.
Unless they put it in the other slot because it's from another, it's a subset. I can't talk. It's a subset, so they put it in reverse. Does that mean that we get a shiny? Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Here we go in 3. Oh my god. 2. 1.
Oh my god. That's gotta be a pull.
God, it's an SL8 Palkia. What is this today? Dude. Oh my god. I can't handle today. Oh my god, can you get anything else behind it? And his Skarmory non-holo rare. Yo, the last hit came in clutch. Oh my god, a secret rare Zapdos. An SL Palkia. A holo Hitmontop. We got the holo Mammoth. We got a hit in every pack. In every pack in the Tepig. So I actually think we did really like it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button on your way up. If you want more content, click on one of the 2 videos. Stop there. Hit that subscribe.
Sick. That was awesome.
No wait for you. You look good. Honest to God. Well, a month and a half away from the Bob Sports Crew has done you very well.
Yeah, the last week wasn't so good. I got sick. I started eating my shit again.
Tick, that flow is flowing, dude.
Like the Lechuga?
You have a little back cheddar.
Yeah, I know. I've been working on that group myself.
1 over, I'm spinning. I'm spinning, I'm spinning, I'm spinning. Holy fuck, I'm fucking spinning. I've got a 4-wood. Oh! Okay, 4-wood. We're in a good spot.
Why don't you spin for me, Stu?
Different shit, different pile. Oh no, that's just not fucking
I mean,
good.
I might as well not. It's a
sand wedge.
Give me something good!
Thin it, Bob.
Oh no. Gap wedge. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. No, I hit it great. Baby draw. All right. It's dead straight. See this front hill?
Oh.
About 110 yards out.
Meet Miss Payment. She's a credit wrecker. She doesn't know that missing a monthly payment can stay on her credit report.
I mean, there's nothing else I can do.
Good shot, Joe.
Thanks, dude.
You not joining us in the living room last night bothered me. It's one thing to step away for a little bit, but you were gone the whole time.
Damn. Dude, I played golf today, I'm gonna play tomorrow, and I'm playing Saturday. Alright.
I didn't know where it is. You know what scares me a little bit now? When this comes with the territory moving, I gotta find a new barber. Like,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, I went to this guy yesterday. He hacked my like to get a beard trim. It was last second. I literally was like, I got 15 minutes. Oh.
Gap.
6 iron. That's gonna be a 7-wood.
Oh, how many yards though?
130.
Tough. We got a big issue.
What?
I left a lot of my clubs. I don't know where. I don't know.
Where?
I don't have my gap either. Something's not right.
It's right here.
Oh my God! Thank
Bobby,
God.
do you have my golf ball? Yes. Yes. Oh. Keep coming. Oh. Be the number. Go. Pop.
It's short right.
40 feet.
Okay. Fancy, dude.
I like a little 136 iron here for you. How about a little yeah?
Put it in there.
Yeah, a little yeah.
Oh. Come on, Joseph. Bring it all around. Oh.
Thank you, motherfucker. Oh. That's another lost ball. Which one, buddy? I just want to.
Yeah.
Way to make it work, FP.
You're looking a little bit slimmer this trip. I gotta be. I'm not just saying you. I'm not blowing smoke up his ass. You look slimmer today. You gotta go get those eyes checked out.
We just had a full Grimaldi's pie 2 days ago.
It was the first bad meal I had. I literally was eating fucking.
We had a pie yesterday.
And herbs.
So we had pie 2 days ago. And we
I had
pie
one
yesterday.
piece of pizza. I couldn't finish it.
You had the arancini balls.
I had one. I didn't even have a full piece of pizza.
Did you have the arancini balls?
I had one.
Did you have Philly cheesesteak?
I had half of an egg roll, and then I had 3 chicken wings, and then I had Caesar salad.
Okay.
I also ate a quarter of a bag of Dorito chips.
Sure.
Doesn't know how to park the car. Yeah, we're just not gonna. He's like Waze, dude. He tries to take it. He takes 20 minutes to get a 1-second shortcut. It's fair.
Taking my dad. Fuck. Oh, buddy, yeah.
The amount of TikTok things we know and whatnot, we're just, but look at Poppy's titty on the right side.
It's popping.
Popping.
Sleeve of balls gone, man, because I'm hitting fucking hybrids and 6-irons into 120-yard shots.
Sink it.
Oh! Oh, good putt, that would have been really nice.
That is a hard putt. I almost came back left at the end.
I wanted that thing to drop. That would have been really cool.
Come back left. Come back left.
Go in the hole.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, let's go! Bobby, boy. Come on, fellas. What a birdie! Buddy, yada, yada. Oh, buddy, yada, yada. Buddy, yada, yada. Oh, buddy, yada, yada. Come on. Hands. Oh! That's a man walking with the strut right there. Look at that. Looks like he just won the U.S. Open.
All right, folks. Bob here. I'm here to good deal.
Lob wedge.
No, it was a second off of a fucking hybrid. So help me God, man. Driver. 5 wood, okay. Spinny. Go. 4-iron. 4-iron. Yeah, that's good. That's okay, we got a 4-iron, we got a 5 wood, well, it's a hybrid, and then we got a lob wedge. Well.
Don't go in the water. Don't go in the water.
Oh, he's smoking.
Yes. Yes.
That's coming in too.
Oh, Damare. Wow.
That felt sensational. That's really good too. Wow. That's that qualifying swing.
Oh, we're gonna be saying that all.
You don't drink coffee.
No.
No, I like my beverages cold.
Sure, but you
I don't
get
like
iced
warm.
Coffee.
Yeah.
But what do you do if you're like ever exhausted? You just don't drink. You just wake up.
Strict dieting.
Scoop.
Score. Scoop in if you can get there.
Go. Oh no. Here, keep going. Left. Look at the pop.
Let me get.
Yeah. Do you remember that guy, what was his name? He would go, sweet dollar tea from McDonald's. I drink that. Super Hot Fire. Remember him?
No.
He was a rapper.
Everyone is.
He was a one-hit wonder, man.
Everyone is until they aren't.
Yaman would kill everyone in there.
They wouldn't fuck with him.
Yeah, they'd have to put him in like the isolation unit.
Oh, come on,
give him
baby.
something.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Go. Sit. Go. Oh no.
No,
Oh, that's a lot. That's gonna be a problem.
I want to hit it.
What do you got? 3 wood.
Beauty.
Oh, the dog! I just want to ha. 4-iron. Oh! 4-iron! Yes!
In Albion, no matter where you go or what you do,
I'm never playing this game because they just flood my thing with ads. Too many ads.
He hit it so hard. Sit. Oh, sit. Yeah. Sit. Is that
It's short left.
Yeah. It's.
What's that?
That's soccer. That's like a soccer flag.
Come on in.
Okay.
We were saying this is probably not the best thing for Perez's qualifier coming up. Neither here nor there.
Oh, I'm just off the green.
All right, look at us here, Joey D.
Now, I don't know where you are. You look like you're really good.
Also, maybe a score.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
All right, here we go. Now.
Oh. Wow.
Oh.
We're Jupiter boys now, Joey D.
How was that first day at Jupiter? That was pretty special, no?
It's fantastic. Feels right, man. It really does.
I've been locking it down since you came here.
You know what? You really have. You've really immersed yourself into the Jupiter culture.
Yeah, I feel like one with people.
Very nice.
Callaway, number 3.
Number 3.
Chrome Tour.
Down the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the J-Dog. Hybrid. Hybrid's fine.
I just said hybrid's not bad.
Give me the good stuff. 8 iron. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. 7 iron. Oh boy.
All right, I mean, this is for Eagle here. If we could 2-putt this.
What is this? What is this right here? Because I just hurt the shit out of it.
That's a vein.
No, this is part of your arm. What is it?
That's your forearm.
Fucking hurts.
Yo, if we did like a green reading seminar, I'd take it.
This one's hard. Normally I can tell pretty easy. It's not much. Whatever it is, it's not much either way.
Couple balls out, right? Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Bobby.
Keep rolling.
I mean,
Keep rolling.
Pretty freaking good, man.
Pretty good, dude.
He's just a birdie putt.
Oh no.
Oh, that's got to sit. That's got to sit.
Take it. No, it's not going.
Sit.
It's not going. Damn, that stunk.
Oh, this is a fun ride.
Come
on. Oh.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
that's
I'll take
the
that.
one we're taking, right?
We'll take that. You're acting kind of shady.
Ain't calling me baby.
Why the sudden change?
Say my name, say my name. Go get it now, Stubby.
I just gave it away.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
man. You fucking slammed it.
Oh my God, no. Oh.
So good,
Yeah.
Stubby. So good, Stubby.
All right.
Are you entertained?
Yes, we're trending.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
I guess you'll get the flag. Yeah, why don't you just get it? Make the putt, get the flag.
You won't get
No.
I wouldn't. You sure the hell wouldn't get the flag. Yeah, I'm playing golf. Why would you get the flag?
I see 2 guys who probably should have gotten it.
I got his clubs, jackass.
Can we talk about that somebody made a parody account called Bobby Foreheads and he just showed us pictures of my foreheads?
He rates it. The last one got a 7.5 out of 10.
People are creative. That's what all rap songs sound like to me these days. They'll go, hit it, fuck it, in it, mala, chip it, him it, malo, pin it, she got mustard, in it, fuck it.
Walk it like you talk it.
You ever listen to Playboy Cardi?
I bet I have.
He goes, hit it, fucking sim it, nim it, fucking molly, pin it, malo.
Whoa, this guy.
That best man speech, I'm gonna light your ass.
Well, no, so what you gotta do is a little sweet and salty. You know, a little roast.
No, in all honesty,
sentimental.
I like to go like an emotional roller coaster. Like, I'll come out like joke on you, and then joke emotional, and then end off really.
Have you started? You already know? Barzol's got his speech ready already.
Is he going first or second?
That's your guys' decision. I don't know. He's pretty good speaker.
All right, game on.
Oh no! Fucking, it was on the edge of driving.
Pitching wedge. Come on, give me something good. Oh no. Keep going! 9 iron. It's an 8 iron. Good news though, I hit my 8 like John Daly, it's 4.
Good ball.
Get away from that fucking bunker.
Oh, just carve her on in there. Yeah.
What a pay to be a fucking scratch golfer.
Yo, did the Chiefs have a running back named Johnson after Larry Johnson?
Yeah.
Priest Holmes.
Priest Holmes and Larry Johnson.
Jamal Charles.
Yeah, they have a lot of good running backs.
They had a great run of running backs.
Yeah.
Like they sucked. Like they were a bad team that had like great running backs.
Who's the quarterback? Trent Green?
Trent Green.
What would be your last meal?
King crab. Like,
Yeah, you love that succulent sweet king crab.
and you know what I need too? I need home fries, well done, mac and cheese. You want to get that, Joseph? And I like the mac and cheese that isn't too cheesy. If that makes sense.
What?
If mac and cheese is too cheesy, like let the shells do a lot of the talking. Let the pasta do a lot of the talking.
Ask FP if he wants that one. Do you like the baked cheese on top?
I do, but then it flirts with getting a little too cheesy.
Well, I thought it was supposed to be cheesy. It's mac and cheese. I know, but if it's like liquid, like if you go in there, you're a psycho with my food, man. I want the shell to have the upper edge. You know what I'm saying? Do you like the actual, like the bigger macaroni shells, or like the little ones? I like the bigger ones. Go, 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 go. Oh, oh, oh.
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 7 wood, baby.
Give me my 5 wood. That's not bad. 7 iron. 7 iron. This is for Joey D.
Yeah. Give me a good one, Bob, please.
I got a 7. Did I get a 7 or 6?
6.
You got 7. He got 6.
Oh, fucking fuck. I mean, yeah, it's layup. That's all you can do. You hit it well.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody stop me. No.
Get ready to rise with more shine. Discover the Sealy Posturepedic collection at Ashley.
Oh, we fucking killed him. Go. Go.
Come on.
Go.
Come on. Okay.
Pretty good.
Right. Look, pars are our friends.
Yeah, right now par is our friend. Absolutely. Oh, oh. Hang,
it's turning.
Sit on down.
No, oh, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yo, has anybody ever told you look like Gary Woodland?
Fuck off. He's clowning me right now, Bob. There was a time when he won the U.S. Open, maybe I was slimmer and I didn't have long hair, where there was a slight resemblance.
You think I'm better looking than Wyndham Clark?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, totally, dude. You got 1 less major than him. Actually, no. You have 2 Bob to Sports majors.
I got 1 more major. Come see me, Wyndham.
Bob, if you had to fight in a UFC cage match, sure. How long do you think you would last? Who am I fighting? That's what I have to think about now. You're fighting Chuck Liddell. Now. Chuck Liddell now.
Sure.
Would you just like run around the cage until he found you? Until he could get you?
Yeah, once he gets his hands on me. but I would think against the average Joe, I'm not a fighter, as we all know. I think my cardio would impress people.
You have good cardio. Yeah, you can run like a dog.
I wouldn't get, it would take me a while to get tired, but I'd get smashed.
All right, so I think we're probably going to take cutsies. I'm a little close to the green, but he's got a way better angle. Spin the wheel. It's fair, it's just. Oh, God. Go. Yeah. Sandwich. Sandwich. Perfect. Oh, sandwich.
No. This is dangerous. Driver.
Oh my God.
That's it.
I mean, that's pretty freaking good. Stop.
Sit on down.
Oh, just called it.
He went like this.
Dude.
Run! Run, you dog!
We got a putt to make, fellas.
Good.
I didn't sell the garage video, so go fuck yourself.
You sold it?
I did not. Go. Oh, dude. It looks good. Sweeper. No!
Fuck me.
We need this for par, man. This is stay under par on the fucking round. No!
Okay, that
Put that in there, Bobby.
We were cruising. Now back's against the wall a little bit. Gotta hit some putts. I get a big stick in my hand. 7 iron. It's not gonna cut it.
Is this a par 4?
Yeah, it is 4.
It'd be nice to get like a 3 wood. You could probably drive it if you could drive her. Oh! Driver! You might be able to get it up there. The wheel is fair, the wheel is just, and it's not. It just isn't. Pitching wedge. Oh, you get that really good. Yeah, it's nice, man. Stay short of that bump. Yeah. Oh, that was not good, but it's gonna be okay. Yep.
We're good?
I've got pitching wedge after that drive right. I'm down into something. Shine on, you crazy child. That's all the only part I know of the song, but I like it a lot. I don't understand the rest of the words of the song, but I'll figure it out next time around. It's something, and that child's still slow.
Slow down, crazy child. You're crazy child. Let's put those scissors down if you're gonna run like that. Some sort of wedge. Just give me a wedge, please. Oh,
this is
go.
actually
Oh,
fine.
no.
Oh no, what do you get?
I got a driver.
I had to
We don't
drive
have to
carry anything.
I had to drive the green for us.
Sand. Gap. Fuck.
Okay.
I'm doing early calls.
Give me good, 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 give me good.
What'd you get?
All right.
I don't know how.
What'd you get?
8 iron. That's gonna work. That's gonna work very nicely.
Oh! Almost rolled in, pal, but now we're way past.
Gap.
Sit. Oh, dude. Sit.
Stupid time.
Go.
Stupid time.
That's tough. I mean, there's not really.
That was bad.
The psychopath.
I would really like to make a putt for us, Yaman.
Sweeps. This is sweepstakes, yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Stay up. It's a good putt. I'm giving these greens a little bit too much credit with the speed. I'm picking the line well. That has a chance to go in the hole. Really good. Go in the hole! Oh! It's this guy!
That's what I'm talking about, baby!
This guy! He's doing the tick! Oh!
They gotta get Bobby the read. You saw that, right, Bob?
This guy is putting the lights out. He did one of these, the tick.
I was actually at the locked-in factory the other day. Nobody knew you there.
Ow. The jerk store called. They're out of you, dude.
5 wood.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, 3 wood. I'm early calling it, man.
Stop. Stop it.
Oh, lob wedge.
No,
That's me. That's
dude,
me.
that's such a... Oh, we got a chance. We got a chance. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. 5 wood.
Here he comes.
Slow down, crazy child.
Here comes the Jew.
What was that? What? Okay. The fact that it popped up Bob, a little crazy. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. But what? What are we doing, man? Oh my God. Okay, we're good. We're good. Keep going.
Whoa!
Oh! Bobo! This fucking smoke. Ain't no T-box worries anymore from this guy.
Well, I haven't had a driver yet. Peter?
Hey, I drew a lot of wedges. Just ain't gonna happen. They had 2 good ones. Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, sure. All right, it's not gonna get there, but it's good.
We're doing A-okay. Give me the goods. Give me the goods. Give me the goods. Give me the goods. Get me out of that. Fuck.
Oh, damn dog. What'd you get? 9 Oh, for fuck's sakes. Gap wedge. Oh, I'm gonna have to hit a good 4. Yeah, that's soft. Look at that ride.
Go.
Run! It's not gonna get there, but it's... Oh, it's right there, though.
Fantastic.
All right, we'll take that.
Beautiful.
All day, every day. Yeah, so I had a gap wedge. Bob had a 9 iron. There's no need for us to hit after that, so we're taking F piece and we're rolling.
Hey, but you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old.
Stop, 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 stop. Gap wedge. Oh,
Lob wedge.
Oh. Tell me something good. Stop. Stop.
Okay, that's okay.
That's okay. I'm fine with that. Give me the old 9 iron. Oh, that's fun. Oh, go. Go. That's pretty good, man.
Damn, I thought he had it.
I did too.
Peter?
Drawing it in there.
Peter D.
Hit it. Oh.
I like that run, though. Peter D. He's a hunter, man. He hunts. Wedges. Stubby. Oh.
Sit, ball.
And now you're gonna get the little shimmy on the backside, and here comes Sterling.
Whoa!
What would you say your best sport was?
To play?
Yeah.
Basketball.
Basketball? Better than golf?
Yeah, way better.
You know, on that clip
I
of
can
you
catch.
playing basketball, you traveled.
Okay.
Listen, back in the day, I'm sure you could have stayed in the air longer, but
That's
you had
such
a
bullshit.
lot of gravity bringing you back down.
First of all, the ball was out of air, which has to do with it fucks your feet up if the ball's out of air. The rim was low, which fucks your feet up. 'cause
That's
you
fair.
can't,
That's a good point.
You know?
That's your best point.
And also, I'm out of shape.
Well, say that.
It's an edge at minimum.
What is he doing?
Oh, he's choking.
Yeah.
Sure, all right. Is that legal? Yeah, it's legal. I wanted to get right down there. You know, you ever see the spider? Birdie, we're back. We are now in a good pace. We just got to par out. Easier said than done, but that birdie, big for the boys. Real big.
Damon just boarded the plane with your parents to West Palm. I panicked and didn't say hi. Way too starstruck. That's incredible. That's as good as it gets because the parents are everything. You know that.
And he's showing
Right.
so much love. Spinning this beige. 175. Come on. Oh, stop. 5 iron. I can work with that. I can work with that. Oh, come down. 7 is good.
Yeah, that's really nice, actually.
Oh. I'm gonna get some shitty now. That's just the Murphy's Law. I told you, lob wedge. Yeah, when you get 2 good ones, you're bound for a bang job.
My hole-in-one theory is that if you ever have to question if it's a real hole-in-one, it doesn't count.
So I had a fake one.
But you also have a real one.
Oh.
There's...
Oh, it's swooping a little bit, but it's still really good. Get that? Yeah, green. Yeah. Rolling down, but that's good. Lob wedge, I don't even know what to do here.
Okay, yeah, you had to give it a whirl.
That stunk.
Nice.
What a good shot.
Hold on. You got wind pushing it, man. Right by you? Or you?
What are you doing?
2.5. Want to hit it up to the fringe, bring it down. Just... what? No, that's not going to do it. I need to be higher. No. You said crest the hill. The hill, like the hill. You said crest the hill. That's the hill right there. The hill is the whole hill. That is the hill. That's coming down. That's a hill. Stay up.
Get up.
Stay up.
Get up. Now go down. Fuck.
This is a really hard part.
Fuck. Get up. Go.
That is a tough putt. You got to give enough gas to get it over the hill, but also not enough gas to where it just scalds over the hill.
Not my best. One bogey here would be all-time Bob Bill Sports. That's the fucking line, man. It's too much.
Too much, Bob.
Tough green, tough pin location from where we were. Tough 2-putt.
Yeah.
Oh!
Here's the deal, fellas. We gotta par it and we break it. If not, we'll par on the dot. Fun challenge, interesting challenge. By the way, folks, keep those.
That was a 3-putt in a scramble.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That's 3 people 3-putting.
I haven't seen that since Duffy Waldorf.
Sure.
Tiger Woods.
Back when the Zurich was a scramble.
Yeah, it was Duffy Waldorf.
Sure.
Curtis Strange.
Boo Weekley, I think.
I think Boo Weekley was in, and then Ben Curtis was
Ben
4.
Curtis, yeah. Ben Curtis, good player.
And they bogeyed 11. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
They actually 3-putted for par because they drove the green, as I remember. So it really didn't matter. It was like a 3-putt, but no one really talked about it.
And then they won.
Then they won.
Put me something up nice. You tell me, Yums.
What do you got?
8 iron.
Oh, no. Give me something I can work with. 5 iron. Please. Please, give me one more chance. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sandwich.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Get out of here.
You held the release.
Down goes Stoopy. Yeah, I don't see anything bunker there, Joey. Oh, you gotta love it out of the dome, man.
I figured I
Come on now.
cleared the bunker. We
Tell
got a
him.
shot. I mean, listen, I hope that if I didn't clear that bunker. Pick that up there, Jensen.
That's Pop.
Oh, Pop. No, he ain't. He ain't
Lazy ass bitch. You lazy punk.
Poppy don't pick.
Poppy don't. That's right.
Poppy places. He don't pick.
Some firm.
It's not bad.
This is a big one. Four iron, baby. Give it to me, Yaman. Last one of the day. Hybrid would be great. And it is.
Oh, nope. Nope.
Stevie, what did you get?
Oh
my
Set.
God.
Oh.
Set.
Joseph.
Tick.
Joseph. Joseph.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Oh, what a shot. Come on, belly to belly, bumper to bumper.
Oh.
Belly to belly. I mean, if he gets on the green, you would have to have that dialogue.
Is that on the green? Pop, how did that look coming in?
What a scumbag.
Oh.
Great shot from Joey D. With that being said, he's on the fringe, so technically we can't use our putters. Again, we got to get par. We're going to line it on up here. Putters are not in play right now. Jensen, why don't you just give that a fire there, Big Hammer?
All right, less than 6 inches. What you got? You want the 5 wood? Okay. That's fine. You use it as a that's fine. Give me something, give me something, give me something, give me something, give me something. 6 iron.
Oh boy.
7 wood. We could try to put it in.
It's gotta go. And you got gas.
Oh, go.
Great job, Joseph. That should do it.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. It's fun. Keep going. That's fun. That's also good too. Now you know what, FP? You can actually give it a little gusto. Oh. Come on in. It's okay. Yeah. We got a putt to make.
The Joey D hole. Yes,
Nice.
Joseph. Clap it up, fellas. Everybody together now.
boys.
Everybody.
One
All right, boys,
under.
I'm getting off here. My lady wants to watch a movie, and I said, let's watch one. And I get off in the morning, so I gotta go play some. Love you, boys. Mean it. See y'all in the next one. That's tomorrow, by the way. We're gonna stream tomorrow. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's check in, check in. Check in, check out, check in, then check out. Right now, love you, mean it. See you boys tomorrow.